like you have more than a two-word vocabulary.
I'm not a smart man.
Steady diet of government cheese and living in a van down by the river.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Give me a hell yeah!
Motorboat? You play the motorboat? You motorboat son of a bitch, you old sailor, you.
You got to nip it in the bud.
Come on, man.
Oh my. Give me a hell yeah!
It's Miller time.
No! God, please, no!
Are you not entertained?
I like where this is going. Giggity, giggity, giggity.
Well, everybody, we are back for the final season of season 3.
Season finale.
Season finale. What
Season.
was? Yes. It's a final.
It's over.
Series finale. Burn it down.
That's all we have. Sorry, didn't mean to scare anybody. Oh yeah, I forgot to start that thing. That's what we forgot. We gotta start that part up because that's the one part that we always end up. Well, we always end up missing something. That's just how it goes. Well, we on deck over here, literally on the deck.
On the deck.
The D-man.
Hey, bud.
Himself. How are you, sir?
Good.
Good to see you. Welcome
see
aboard. And over here on third chair, we have James.
Ahoy.
The robust, good-looking man.
Oh,
I gotta figure out. Ooh, he's like almost kind of dark over there. Do I need to lighten him up a little bit?
Turn this up a little bit.
No, that's fine. I'm just saying, like, I think I have his image slightly dark. Go back over to him.
it's okay. I'll be the token character of color.
He's
It's Matthew here from City and Piping.
Yeah, that's why it's the finale.
Anything goes.
Let's see, color correction. Let's bring up. Yeah, let's bring the brightness back up on him. There we go.
You don't want to get mixed up with a guy like me.
He looks good.
I'm a lawyer.
Thank you.
There you go. Yeah.
Rebel.
He's got a legit light on him now, so he's not all blurred out. How's your eye doing? Are you able to see out of it now?
So eyes still 20/20. Yeah, eyes 20/20. My pupil's still bigger on this side,
Right.
but that's the doctor said. I just had an appointment the other day, so that's pretty much going to be permanent. He said they can do surgery to fix it, but it's basically redoing my LASIK, putting in a cataract, and I could go blind. So I was like, I'm gonna wait till I need cataracts, like in my 60s, and then I'll do it. So he's really cool. He's like, I wouldn't do this surgery. Like, if you really want to have fixed pupils, I could do it. But he's like, no.
I already get the percentage of failure rate on surgeries in general. So if you're just gonna tell me right off the bat this isn't a good idea, well then we're just probably not gonna do that.
Well, he led with like, I would not do this.
Yeah.
But if you want it.
Yeah. No, I don't. Wow. All right. Yeah. So
he's a good doctor to tell you at least if you want to try it.
Oh no, he's great. I'm gonna go to him the rest of my life. He's a wonderful doctor.
So for the finale, we're gonna crank open. Oh no, I don't want to do the 2009. Never mind. I wanted to do the 2013. I thought it was the 2013. I have a 2013 in there. We'll go get it in a minute. So we'll just do Buffalo Trace right now. We're gonna do some Trace, some Tracy. I will be cue up the music, D.
Oh yeah.
I will. This is not only is it the finale, but I'll also be out of the country.
Ooh, where are you going?
We will be in Germany till the 8th.
Nice.
For my wife's oldest brother's wedding.
Okay.
And her youngest brother turning 40. So it's an over the hill and over the hill.
Okay.
So you're saying that we're gonna do this show abroad? We're gonna do recording in Germany?
No, we're not. No.
Derek, you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm down.
Feel free if y'all want to jump on board with that. I'm good. But yeah, so we'll be going over there for the wedding, and that'll be something. So the wife's already over there. She's hanging out with friends and family for a few days. We'll come over Sunday, get there Monday. We'll be there till the 8th, and then she'll hang out with friends and family a little bit longer and be done. Because I told her she hasn't been back in like 10 years.
Yeah,
that's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be awesome for her.
For as long as possible.
So she wanted us.
I did three-way, but you got to scoot over a little bit.
Oh yeah, you got it. But you know what I can do? I can.
Oh yeah, move him over.
Hold on. Stay right where you're at. And
it ain't gay if it's a three-way.
Wow, I am so uncomfortable with the whole idea of what just happened. Let's see. All right, so hop him over. There we go.
We like lip sync a song or something like that. We're gonna like talk back to each other.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I love that it's the cascade. Like it's like it's like the old
I have
AT&T.
the smallest head here.
The old
but in reality, you're the biggest.
The largest head.
That's because you always like to sit 30 feet away from your camera.
Well, my camera's 30 feet away from me.
Well, I mean, it's there for the wide angle, sir.
I know. I look good in it. I look good.
But then you decide to relax. And then that's when it all goes downhill.
This is a relaxing show, okay?
Yeah. And
I don't have to put up with this.
You just,
Okay, what are you gonna do, fire?
all you gotta do is right. Yeah, you just gotta roll forward, not hit the camera,
Well, that's the problem.
and then relax. There we go. That's much better. And he still hits the camera. He can't help himself. So I told her, I said, look, I love the fact that you want us to come for this, but initially I told her, I said, no, we're not going. We're just not going.
Why?
Because she wants to go there and hang out with family and friends.
Okay.
I'm not going. I'm not spending all that money to go over there.
Okay.
Sit in somebody's living room.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
Sit
I'm not
on
going
somebody's couch.
correct and just hang out with family and friends over in a little town in Germany for 2 weeks. That ain't happening. And I said, you're not going to like that either, because we're going to be sitting there twiddling our thumbs. The kids are going to be playing games. We're going to go eat a little bit, and we're going to be bored out of our minds.
Yeah.
So you're not going to have any fun. So I said, you need to go for a prolonged period of time.
Get that out of your system.
So you can hang out with family and friends.
Yeah.
Plan something for us to do. Like, we're going to go to Berlin, so I can go to Berlin and say that I'm a donut.
What would you say?
And I'm absolutely going to say it. I'm going to do it just like JFK. 100%. I'm going to go to Checkpoint Charlie.
Nine Berliner.
Yep. And I'm going to do it right there at Checkpoint Charlie, and I can't wait. And embarrass the utter piss out of her, because she's German, so she's going to be like, oh my God.
You gonna see some cool castles or anything?
Yep. So we're going to go to, we're doing the Martin Luther Trail, because come to find out, my wife is from the same town as Martin Luther.
I thought he was from Georgia.
Right? Yeah, he has so many streets named after him.
He's so stupid.
Jesus.
Did her Martin Luther have a dream too?
Anyways, look, he had a dream, all right, and then he became a monk. The way it works, I'll toss these over to you, James. The way it works is that for Martin Luther, he's the one that posted the 10 or the 12 theses to the church and nailed them up on the door. Because the church at the time, the Catholic Church, which, by the way, if you didn't know, Catholic meant universal, which is kind of funny to think about, because it's like the dominant, denomination of Christianity, especially at that time, still is fairly dominant. And the only one? Yeah.
I say
So that's even
he
before,
literally created Protestants. So.
right. And so we'll do a little cheers. Cheers, Martin Luther. There we go. Cheers.
Salute.
And so he put up the thesis because the church at the time was having people pay for their salvation.
That's right.
This is when they were given the little letters and everything, like, hey, your uncle died, your aunt died, whoever died, you have to pay for their salvation. And Martin Luther, who spoke Greek, he was going to study to be a lawyer. In fact, the university he went to is right across from the hospital my wife was born in. And so he's from that whole Thuringian area of Germany. And so he said, look, he was going to be a lawyer. That's what his dad wanted to do. Yeah.
Indulgences.
And he read the New Testament, which is Greek, and he's like, y'all are all wrong. And I'm like, okay, we're talking, what was this, like 1600s, 17, 1800, whatever it was, 16 something. And the biggest superpower in the world at the time is the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Like, this is the same organization that makes king and queens like kneel and pay, so that way there's no revolts of the people and everything. I mean, like the old Three Musketeer movies we used to watch of cardinals and everything, like all that. So you're the legit superpower, and this one little dude from no name Erfurt, Germany, that area, goes up and says, you guys are wrong. And I'm like, you got the biggest brass balls out of anybody in history other than Jesus Christ, because literally that's probably the only other biggest person that went against all of society in the world.
Signing a death sentence.
And that's what he did. In fact, he had to go and hide out in what is it, Vanderbilt? What is that freaking castle? Anyways, there's a castle. There was a prince or
1500s.
whoever, 1500s. So there was a castle he actually had to hide out in. And that castle he hid out in because a king or a prince or whatever over there, he hid out over there, had to change his name, had to redress and everything like that. And he had to actually hide out because of that, because they did come after him. And the problem was that seed got planted and it didn't stop. And what's interesting is during the war, like some of the biggest castles are over in that area, and that's one of the areas where like Erfurt basically didn't get touched. So there are huge castles that are there, like or churches that are there. All of them are still standing. They're all huge. They're all beautiful and everything. But like, if you look at like one of the churches that he had spoke at, like I didn't know this, but Johann Sebastian Bach, his main instrument was the organ. Mm-hmm. Not only that, but he was also head of the choir group and music and everything at a specific church that's not far from where they were, and he's actually buried there too at a church. So like it's interesting, like how immersed like Christianity was in all of culture, whether it was science, whether it was arts, whatever it was, theology and everything. But to me, I was like, how much different would the United States look if Martin Luther doesn't confront the Catholic Church?
Yeah.
To where he says, no, salvation was already bought and paid for. These rights aren't being given by you guys. They're given by upstairs. Sorry.
Do you know
if he doesn't do that, what does the U.S. look like? Because you had massive Christian influence in just the way our Constitution and everything was made and developed.
Well, most of the prudes came here first. Those are the pilgrims and stuff. They were too prudish for the Anglicans in England.
Well, but they were the religious persecuted ones because they didn't want to go with what
freedom.
The church said.
Yeah.
They said, no, we don't agree with that. You know, and these are the tenets we follow. We follow the Bible this way, and so they were persecuted religiously. So they had their exodus, and so so the influence is drastic.
There, yeah.
It's huge. But if Martin Luther doesn't start way back then,
does it even happen?
I don't know, and I think there's a case to be made that it would look very different. You know, because the dominance was so much. Nobody would go against the Catholic Church at the time, especially in the 1500s. Ain't no way. We're talking about like suckers just got done. You know, wasn't that like after the Crusades?
Yeah.
So I mean, like we're talking like, boy, people were, you know,
they did that a lot. So yeah.
but people were murdered. No qualms.
Yeah.
This little dude that was gonna be a lawyer, his dad was pissed because he decided to go into theology and decided to do that. But anyways, I digress. So we're gonna do a thing for the Sunday school where we're going to have the boy read a child's book, and we're going to do the Martin Luther's Trail while we're there, and then we're doing also one for the church as well, where we're going to document it. I'm going to take my cameras and we're going to do some good documentary work on it and everything, and the wife is she's gonna spearhead most of all the talking.
You're gonna take them on your carry-on, right?
You got that right.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah. Okay.
as my luck has been with packages.
Yeah.
That's what she said. She might have said that. Yeah, something like that. So outside of that, so it should be a good trip. So that'll be fun. I'm gonna eat and drink. My doctor was like, she's like, I'm really concerned about your. She's like, we should have got blood work done before you left because I'm really concerned about your blood,
Doesn't
your
matter,
sugar
do the same
and everything.
thing.
I said, lady, I'm gonna blow this sugar out of the park. I'm going to
all schnitzel all day
and beer. Like, lady. There's different levels of beer all over this country,
Can we go?
and I must consume them.
Can you fly us all back over there for Oktoberfest?
No,
Thanks.
I'm not going.
My good friend Dora there.
I'm not going. First, hey there, Phil. Nobody gives a crap about Oktoberfest over there except for the Bavarians.
I know, it's kind of like Cinco de Mayo, right?
Yeah, I mean, and Bavaria.
It's an American thing.
Well, Germans like treat Bavaria kind of like everybody here treats New York.
Yeah.
It's just its own little world.
Yeah.
Like, it's just its own place. They do their own thing. They have their own dialect. Like, they just, like, my wife's like, yeah, no, it's Bavarian. We don't care. It's Bavarian. No, don't give a damn. I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. I was like, that makes sense. I'm like,
You gonna go anywhere else, like Switzerland or anything, or
probably not. We were thinking about jumping to the UK, but we're iffy on time.
Gotcha.
Because it's 6 hours. They're 6 hours ahead of us.
Yeah.
And so we're leaving out at 7:00 on Sunday. So getting the red eye, and then we'll be there Monday. And so we'll probably be just dying on Monday, and then Tuesday it all starts, and then we come back the 8th of the next week.
Okay.
So we've got the wedding and the birthday, and so it'll probably take 2 days to do the Martin Luther's Trail.
Yeah.
and document all that. Because we're going to go to the castle, we're going to go to the monastery. Because Martin Luther, got stuck in a storm, and he told God, he said, if you get me out of this, so I don't get struck by lightning, because that was prevalent in storms. You get struck by lightning, you're dead. And Martin Luther said, if you get me out of this, God, I'll become a monk. And that's exactly what he did. And he became a monk. Very devout person, which you have to have massive conviction to do what he did to begin with. Yeah. I mean, you don't just say, hey, y'all are screwing with everybody's souls. Stop it. Like, you just don't do that. You don't, like, that's going against like our government. Like, that would be insane. Yeah. Like, it's like everybody would say you're crazy. And I could only imagine how many people said he was crazy. Yeah. Back then. But then he still got a following. And
well, there are probably people that had similar beliefs that they're like, this can't be right. Like, why are they doing this? And they listen to him like, well, he's actually making a lot of sense.
Well, think about it. They were vastly uneducated. When did the printing press come out? Because that's when...
Yeah, the Gutenberg Bible was about that time.
Yeah, that's the first time the Bible actually gets printed. And it's the first thing that gets printed on the printing press is the Bible. And so that's when, like, it just comes out. And I likened it to, like, what was it? I said, Jesus gave us salvation, and Martin Luther taught us about it. Okay. And I think that's relevant. I think that's pretty relevant because, again, we always talk about translations in the Bible and stuff like that because multiple languages all the way throughout to Aramaic and everything. And so, like, he literally decided to say, I'm going to teach everybody about it. I'm going to translate it to my language that all of my people can understand. And I'm like, that's crazy. That's just nuts. Like huge brass balls. I'm like, and my wife's like, she said, we grew up like learning about him. She's like, I didn't think he was a big deal. I'm like, to modern Christianity, I mean, like, there's only one bigger, and that's the one that came before him. I'm like, there's not in Christianity, there's not really anybody that huge that made that much of an impact. Like, because nobody else told the Catholic Church to,
what's the name of the town he grew up in?
I don't remember the exact town. It's right next to where Erfurt, Germany is. So it's in that Thuringian area. Okay. It's a very wooded area.
Mentioned to see some pictures and stuff of the place.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's so funny because we looked at the monastery and it's like this beautiful old archaic monastery. And then there's this like little like crosswalk that goes above everything. And then there's this massive stainless steel modern building connected to it. And it's really? It's like, what the hell is wrong with you guys?
Cool.
Like,
hey, they just connect the new and the old. That's cool.
I hate that. Leave the old, and put some new. I don't care if the new's there. Down. Well, I mean, stuff got burnt to the ground and everything else in the World Wars and everything. But yeah, that I thought it was very fascinating. Like, and so she didn't realize he was a big deal. That really kind of propelled her faith. Because she's like, he's from my hometown. Like, she's like, I grew up there. I was born in the hospital across from the university he went to school at. Like, she's like, I have so many connections to him, and we didn't think he was a big deal.
Well, it's like when you live by the beach and grow up by the beach, you never think to go to the beach because it's just there.
Right. Or if you grew up next to Gettysburg.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, well, it's Gettysburg.
Yeah.
We've been there a million times, and we keep hearing the cannons, and we can't stand it. We want to move away. I mean, it's like growing up in anywhere historical. Yeah. People in St. Augustine, like that's a very historic place for the United States. It's really cool. Lots of cool history in St. Augustine, Florida. So I'm excited about it. I think it'll be fun, just to do that little documentary, and so that'll leave us with like a couple days to go to like Berlin and see some other stuff, and so. I don't know how much else we'll see. So I just told her, I said, I just got to go to Berlin. I need to go to Checkpoint Charlie. That's where my dad was stationed, before the wall came down and everything. So I want to go back there where he was at and when he was in the army and everything.
He was on the Russian side there, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Communist all the way. James could tell you how commie he was. He would have commie talks with him on a daily basis when we were teenagers. It's about as commie as it gets.
God, your dad is such a pinko. Such a commie.
Such a commie. Like, man, he loves Cuba. I can't tell you how much he loves Cuba.
I like he wears all the Fidel shirts.
The massive Fidel. And he gets
Rivera.
Get the fedora going and everything. He's rocking the Casbah. So
I should do a bowl call.
God, I would love to actually just buy one of those for my dad and see how he would react. He would lose his mind.
Are you looking?
He might not recover from it.
No, he won't recover. Steve Span, how are you, sir? My apologies. I should have been doing some shout outs. Matthew Picking and Piping, Juris Piper, WK Piper, Cincinnati.
Back to the regular scheduled program.
Back to the regular scheduled program. Jerry Wynn, good to see you, sir. I had to give it to Jerry Wynn because, you know, absolutely.
Give me a hell yeah!
Yes, sir. We gave it to you early, but we'll give it to you again. Mr. Ron Hardcrackers, Andrew Srigliano, good to see you. Sue Jones, love to see you. Don Brown. Oh, he's wondering why I'm looking at. Patrick Grant, good to see you. Welcome aboard. Sam is doing it wrong. Miss Road King Piper, good to see you, sir. Welcome aboard. Did I miss anybody? Did I get everybody? Hiker Life Jeff, good to see you, sir. Good to see you indeed. All right, did I miss anybody? Don't think so. Juris Piper, nope. Got you. Get it. Got it. Phil, got it. Going. Jeff Wadsworth, good to see you. Didn't want to miss you either. Flat Cat Piper, good to see you, sir. I heard Nashville Mafia is taking a hiatus.
Well, they done the same thing we're doing.
They must be.
Taking a little break during the summertime.
They must be taking a little snafu away just to take a bit of a break.
Well, it's hard to get everything done. I mean, there's so much that's going on all year long. I mean, you have to have some break.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, their kids are much older, so it's like for us, it's fairly difficult because you have like Little League baseball and everything else. Speaking of Little League baseball, I've got a video for everybody. I was gonna give a shout out to the boy because he's not here tonight, so I can't. I would be remiss if I didn't give him his own little shout out. Cut that music real quick, D, if you don't mind, and I will find the. Oh, this is another thing you don't know about, James, but I have a foot pedal now.
Fancy.
Yep.
Do you tune the audio with that?
I'm not sure I hear the audio at all.
Hit the foot pedal again.
Trying to make some hype videos.
Yeah, so he's a lefty, and in that actual hit and everything, like I mean, he does full textbook in his hit. Like I was very impressed with it. He works at it. He's a very technical kid. So like he's had a couple good hits, but yeah, he's definitely a lefty. But he's very good with technical stuff, but he has a hard time taking all the technical stuff and then putting it in play. So that's the connection he was missing. That was his last at bat of the season, and he just he got his timing down just right. Everything was fine. Hands were forward. I mean, like, you know, for him, he was just making contact, and he wasn't trying to crush it or anything like that. And I said, don't. I said, just hit base hits.
Yeah.
I said, if you have a 500 average of just hitting in the gaps all day long, somebody will find a place for you on a team. I promise you.
Yeah.
I was like, there's an old adage, base hits score runs. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, and what's so funny is the kid that ran from first to second, he's actually a pretty fast kid. He should have been home, but he was too busy watching Martin's hit. He was like, oh, look at that. And so it was a lot of fun to see.
That was a good hit.
To see that roll out.
Pick up the pace to get the first base.
Oh, yeah. Durwood said, he's like, you know what? That was the most upward run I've ever seen in my
it
life.
looked just like how you run. I saw this run. I was like, that looks just like Martin.
I'm substantially faster than that child. Thank you. But yeah, he got his hands forward on everything. And so he just finally connected it.
Yeah.
And so we were like, okay, you know what? I'm happy if the season ends, which it did. Mm-hmm. And I said, at the same time, I was like, crap.
And then on a positive.
Right. We ended on a positive, but at the same time, I was like, crap. He's just putting it together. So now we got to work the whole off season to keep it that way. So when he comes back.
Well, my kids, now that baseball's over, now they've moved on to basketball.
Yeah, no, Martin will not be doing that.
They've got some little summer basketball league, and they're playing basketball now.
Oh, you can crank our music back up, D.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, so he nailed that, and
Hours later.
I know, shut up. But doing the mechanics, like, I mean, he's smooth. Like his mechanics, he's got
good mechanics.
He's got great mechanics, but he's a weird, like, he's an old, like, he's like Benjamin Button. I swear to God, he's like an old man that's just getting younger, because the games he likes are all like AutoCAD. Like, he likes this game called Stormworks, Stormworks Rescue and something, and there's mods, and they build like huge ships and helicopters and everything. So he goes in and he like customizes it. He made like the General, the Civil War train.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
You should get on the what's that called? The lawnmower simulator.
Just Lawnmower Man.
I got him the Goat Simulator.
No, Goat Simulator. No, there's a game called Lawnmower Simulator where you literally just ride a lawnmower around and cut grass.
But that's what he does.
It's like a Martin Senior.
He goes through and like mods these ships and like builds them out and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, how do you think this is fun? And he'll do that for hours.
Yeah.
And then he'll actually wait for like a typhoon or something and go rescue people and stuff like that.
Not exactly the same. Remember Gran Turismo when it first came out, and you had to get your driver's license.
I love
in the
Gran
game?
Turismo.
Yes.
You know, so you spend like 40 hours just driving the test tracks to actually play the game. It's such crap.
Which I was a huge fan of Gran Turismo, but he likes the physics stuff. The other thing is like this BeamNG drive or something like that, where like you get like cars and stuff, and like it took him like 30 minutes to hook a boat up to the trailer hitch on a truck, and I was like, good lord.
Oh God, don't take him fishing.
He spent so long on this because he doesn't understand how those work.
Yeah.
And so I showed him real quick, and he's like, "Oh, okay, this makes sense." And so
that's how I learned to drive.
But I mean, like every little mechanic, like you get on a ship, you have to adjust everything. Like you get on the steam engine, you have to start up the boiler.
Yeah, so it's got real
You have
physics.
to wait for the PSI to crank up. I mean, you have to do all these things, and it's like, you think this is fun? Like he spends 10 minutes just to get the train started.
Hey man, teach their own.
Are you gonna? Is your youngest gonna play sports?
Crazy.
God, I hope not. I enjoy my free time. No, it's
only like 1 or 2 days a week.
You know what
that
this
age.
tastes like?
What?
This tastes like Captain Crunch.
I mean, I'll take Captain Crunch before
That's
the
not
blueberries.
Kind of a fruity pebble.
Tell me it doesn't
Crunch.
taste like a Captain Crunch.
Because that's probably the raspberry and the blueberry.
At the very end of it.
No, when you're drinking the milk at the end.
Yeah.
And it's all like.
Yeah.
So my beer tastes like milk.
Yeah.
I mean,
like left-hand milk stout.
I mean,
yeah. But no, yeah. It's
The
got that,
adverse was I was going to say it tastes like the bowling alley smelled when you walked into it.
That's the best smell ever.
Fruity, like whatever that
mildew
was.
and smoke and
It's the greatest thing in the
So
world.
this is now officially the worst beer I've ever made. Thanks, guys.
No, it's really good actually.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Well, before the blueberry, it honestly was like not undrinkable, but it's like ugh. It's only
It was
3
boring.
Still,
Yeah,
good to
yeah.
see you.
It's 3.3% alcohol, so it's not too heavy. Wanted something light to drink after mowing the grass.
This
Can
ain't,
you make
this
more?
ain't that light.
Make more what?
I think we probably talked about this. What's the most amount you can make and save?
Well, I mean,
But you don't have a bigger keg, do you?
No, I've got 2 kegs that are 5 1/4 gallon, so I make 5-gallon brews.
So what if I like bought a half barrel keg, what's it, like 15.5 gallons?
Mm-hmm.
Could you brew that amount and put it into that keg?
It'd be 3 batches, but yeah, I could do that because my kettle for my fermenting or for my actual brewing is 10 gallon, but you never fill it up to 10 gallons. To brew 5 gallons, it's about 8 gallons or so of water.
But can you get it into that keg?
Yeah.
Like the ones we used to use in the restaurant.
Yeah.
The ones you pop out.
Yeah.
How do you get into it? Is there just a?
So with a sand key, is basically you have there's 2 ways that you can introduce it. You can introduce it by actually like connecting it to the keg and pushing it in with CO2, or you can just take the top off and just pour it in. That's what I do.
There's like some proprietary crap that you couldn't do.
No. I don't use those styles because it's harder to clean and there's just more to it. Where I use a corny keg.
Speaking of style, can you make me a Mulvaney?
Mulvaney, like a Mick Mulvaney.
It's a Budweiser joke.
Oh, with the transvestite.
I just think that would be I think that would be an awesome beer. And call it a Mulvaney.
Do you want me to make you a beer and draw a picture of you on it dressed as a woman?
Actually, yes. Now I do. Now that you mentioned it, that's
No,
exactly what I want.
I want it
That's
called
exactly
the
what I want.
Mulvaney, and I want to see what inspiration you get out of it. flavor wise?
So if I'm gonna make a Mulvaney, I'm gonna make
Hibiscus
a beer.
Hill?
No.
Tell
I'm
me
gonna
that
make.
Mulvaney doesn't sound like an interesting name for a beer.
I'm
You know,
gonna make
right when
a
you said it, I
beer
thought it was- I was
that
like, oh, yeah, I remembered.
is sweet in the beginning but bitter in the end.
Oh,
Can do that. Have a sweet initial flavor to it, and then at the end be very hoppy.
call it the full Mulvaney.
I was gonna say it had a nutty aftertaste.
Oh wow!
So like a nice brown ale.
Oh God, that's wrong. No. So what I'm saying is, because you make good beer and I like it. Maybe I just need to buy a keg and just pay you to make me a not a big keg, but a smaller keg.
If you get a kegerator,
Like
and
your marriage, recovery, know it all. Understood. I understand.
No, like one your size. What is that? 3 gallon? The gallon?
So this is 1 gallon right here.
I think it is
And
a good
then
name.
if I do a, they have 1, 3, 5 gallon, 10, 15 gallon kegs. But if you get that, I can brew you whatever you want.
Okay, I was curious. But
that's
I was thinking for like a party or something. If you could we could get like an empty, half barrel, and you could like fill that bad boy up, and we could just,
Problem is with the half barrel, I don't have the components to hook up to it, so I'd have to buy all that stuff. But like what I have
you can't
now,
hook that onto the top of it. Is that the same?
no, it's different.
I love when people that have no idea
I
how
know,
to
right?
do something.
Well, it's like
Give
it's
suggestions.
I feel like
It's
Donald Trump talking about, can you just put bleach into your veins and just kill coronavirus? Can you shine a light on it?
So take your
No
iPhone
thanks,
charger
Mike.
and charge my
Appreciate
Android
it.
phone.
Yeah,
You can
It's
technically
kinda the
do
same.
it,
Okay,
but it takes
I got
adapters,
you.
takes things.
I
Yeah.
got you. I'm just curious because I like every beer you've made and brought and I've tasted has always been good. But then again, I guess there's like the price component, right? Like if we're talking about large volume, it might just be more economical to just go buy a 12-pack of Mulvaney at the store rather than have you brew it.
I mean,
Oh
people
no,
are
you
giving
can
it away
get
now.
rebates for the Mulvaney.
Which is crap, by the way.
Oh.
So they can't sell it, and they're trying to discount it.
So my thing
but
is,
it's a manufacturer rebate I have to mail in. No.
so my question is, I thought they only made the Mulvaney for that person, a 12-pack with their picture on it. They didn't make any
They
others.
did. It was like a 6-pack.
So-
but the thing is, it's not selling in the stores.
So basically, the Bud Light that's stable on the shelf for 5-6 months is not selling. Just
Correct.
leave it on the shelf.
Well, but it's been a couple of months now, and so now they're like trying to dump it.
Oh.
So there's a couple stores that's like, Kroger, for instance, they're like, what's a $26 case, and they're like, well, you get a thank you, you get a $15 rebate, but you have to like mail it in like an old school rebate.
Yeah.
No, I want a discount at the store. I'll go buy some Budweiser right now.
Dude.
If I can get a 12
Regular
pack,
Bud isn't bad.
if I can get a 12-pack of Budweiser for $3, I'll buy it right now.
I
and
feel
put it in
like
my
we're
fridge.
gonna move on this subject before it gets any further. It is May 26th. Thank you, everybody. And there we
went
go.
too
Yeah,
long.
see, that's what happens. This is the crap. All right, so let's pick something else from the shelf.
This is beer talk.
Yeah, it's definitely beer talk, which is fine. Let's pick something, James. Pick something off the shelf that we're gonna have. That's what you.
I like the crabby one.
Well, hit it with the shampoo. And so, but it is.
You
May
brought it up, by the way, if you're getting mad about
26th,
it.
and it is Carb Day. So everybody likes their carbs. Oh, okay, and Cards Against Humanity Day too, as well. It's also Don't Fry Day.
Oh, I heard about this one.
You've heard about this one.
They're talking about it. It's like cancer, skin cancer awareness.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
Don't fry your skin. Yeah.
I like that. That makes sense. That one's a really good one,
Which
by the way,
it
James.
hits close to home because
All right, you want that one? Okay. You
As
pick
a
it.
pale-
You pick it. You got it.
as a pale Englishman, Irishman with a pale sun, it is very it's very
Hit it with
important
some
not to
Angels
fry.
Envy. We got to do the rye because the rye is way better than this.
Okay.
What, Angel's Envy rye?
Yep.
Have you had it?
It is like, it is sweet and almost not quite cinnamony, but it's like it makes you think of Thanksgiving,
Okay.
but it's sweet and it's a rye. It's
What is that?
Really, really good.
That's cumin, right? No,
Cumin?
yeah.
you mean
yeah,
like allspice?
Like no, dressing has like cumin in it, which
Yeah.
is like that Thanksgiving. Like to me,
Yeah.
to me,
look.
cumin is like the.
I don't know
Thanksgiving
what
taste.
Cinco de Mayo dressing you make, but like I don't have any
So
dressing.
this isn't a
with
chilled
cumin
shot, or
in
is
it.
this a?
Guess we're
You
just
just
taking.
pour as
I
much
guess
you
we're just
want.
taking this one neat.
Yeah, well, because if we start mixing these, you're gonna
I
lose.
that's a good point.
I want the bar mat taste.
You're gonna, yeah, you want the
All of them
what
mixed
is it
together.
called?
I hadn't heard that in so long.
What is that drink called? The
A Matt drink?
No, it's got a name. What was
Yeah,
it
I don't
called?
know. I can't remember what it's called now. It's where you take up the bar mat at the end of the night and
Yes.
just pour it all over.
God,
one,
what was it
take a
called? It
shot.
was called the.
It's called This is how you get
Oh,
somebody-
Chet, does anybody know what that's
It's called
called?
This is how you get gonorrhea.
Wow, God. Okay. Does anybody remember what that drink's called? It has a specific name.
It does.
It's the end of the night. Your regulars there. They're annoying. Usually, God, just go away.
Oh, they're drunk.
No, that's, what
Yeah.
you get, that's what you get the dishwasher at the end of the night.
Where did you work?
Oh God! Wow.
You know, the dishwasher is usually some, you know.
We give the dishwasher a
I
cement
was a
mixer.
dishwasher.
I was giving him a cement mixer.
Oh God.
Cheers.
Cheers. Sounds good.
Oh, that's good.
It's good.
That's good.
That's a good one, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. That's very good.
Yeah, that one's a good one.
That's not rye. You said
No, that's just
Okay.
a regular one. But it's done in is it brandy casks or rum casks? I think on that is. No, it's not called Jungle Juice, Sue. I don't know.
no.
how
Jungle
that-
Juice is when isn't it like Hunch Punch when they
Port wine barrels.
Port wine. So that's done in port wine barrels. The rye is done in another type of barrel. I think it's like a sherry or it's a rum, one of the two. But man, it is lights
I could
out,
go for some port wine.
crazy sweet.
You know,
good
I've never
stuff.
had port wine.
Really?
Never had port wine.
I'll buy you a bottle. It's good. We'll drink it next
can't
time. When we
believe
come
you
back,
didn't-
we'll brush up some.
That's gonna bother me to the end of the day. That
Can we
can't
work-
Look, when
figure
we
out
break
the
it,
name.
when we come back, I'm gonna have we're gonna have a change. No more bourbon.
Are you gonna grow a beard?
No, we're switching like wine or
Are we?
Okay.
you know
Okay.
something.
A scotch, man. Give me some single malt scotch.
Well, we can't afford single malt scotch on here.
Yeah, I mean, for as much as I already spend on bourbon.
Man, have you seen some of the? Sorry, Martin, we're just
what the
hijacking it.
hell was the name of that thing?
Nah, no, it's. Have you seen some of the how they package the Macallan 50 and 75 year? They come in these giant
Turn my camera slightly to the right.
Am I right or you're right?
You're right. No, back to where it was
Okay.
because it centers it up. Back a little bit. Nope, too far. Too far. Going back. Keep going. Keep going. Shouldn't have told you to move it at all. Keep going.
But your head's not in the
Right
center.
there.
The bar
I know
mat
my head's
shot
not.
goes
I'm
by
looking-
many
Well,
names.
I'm looking at your head trying to figure it out.
I'm
Anyways,
looking at the rails.
Depending on which part of the country you're in, it can be called a gorilla fart, a mad
Oh.
demon, a
No.
sweaty bartender,
Oh.
a gray snail,
Yeah.
a dirty cow, a sweaty biker,
I'll know it when I hear
or if you're in Philadelphia, a Jersey Turnpike.
it. No.
No, somebody
No,
said
but
that's why I said
Andrew
Jersey
said that.
Turnpike. I've never heard of any of those. There's
I've
something
never
else.
heard of that, but a gorilla fart sounds amazing.
That doesn't
That's what you
sound.
should call this blueberry beer.
God, it's a weird name. It's like
Yeah, I know exactly. I think
it's like aftertaste.
I think
or
it's
like
very
some
centralized. You know, it's like what in our area.
weird- probably
Anyways, like the
dumpster diver.
I think it was like Macallan 50 or Macallan 75, but it came in like a suitcase.
Slippery nipple is not it, but those are nice.
And then they open it up, and it's got like another case. And they open it up, and it's got it's a very odd shaped bottle. You know, just crystal, and it's flat. Almost reminds me of Angel's Envy, but it's stout. But anyways, each of those super high versions of it, it comes in a very specialized bottle.
Yeah.
Almost like a decanter. You know, it looks really nice, but it's $30,000. So.
Yeah.
No, that's like getting a bottle of Louis the 13th.
Yeah, that's 1400. That's
So stupid. Well, I mean, a Pappy Van Winkle. That's on bourbon wise. You're not gonna pay less than over 800 to $1,000 on their base
yeah.
level.
Oh yeah,
because it's just.
I'm not opposed.
But it's not-
I'm not opposed to bourbon. I was just saying we switch it up. a
Here's the
little bit.
thing though, if you go back 20 years, 10 years, you can just go back 10 years. Nobody was buying well-aged bourbon. Nobody.
No, it's a new market.
I would buy E.H. Taylor for Ralph,
Mm-hmm.
my brother-in-law. I would buy that for him for 30, 40
Yeah.
bucks a pop, and it was always on the shelf.
Yeah.
I said, was it him that liked Woodford? One of our friends loved Woodford. I thought it was him.
Probably Saunders.
Maybe it was Saunders.
Yeah.
Yeah, he loved Woodford Reserve, which
but
I like Woodford.
I like
Yeah, it's
Woodford.
good.
Woodford's fine. But I just a train wreck. Train wreck sounds close. Train wreck is close.
I mean, that
Steve.
sounds right
That
for the
sounds
shot.
that sounds pretty close.
Sweaty Bartender. I like that one better than what I'm thinking of.
Train wreck. It sounds close. It sounds like wreck is probably in there somewhere.
It's been so long since I worked in restaurants. I don't know.
Yeah, I've got no idea.
I'll be honest with you, I never did that. We talked about it, but I never had the balls to do that.
The Tabasco shot. Do you ever do that to somebody that's too drunk?
James, do me a favor. Pull that cord. Is there a way James can get that cord away from the?
Am I
Are
pulling?
you hitting the camera?
Am I pulling your camera?
You're bumping your camera.
Give me the headphones.
Just so we can just adjust it. But also, today is also European Neighbors Day. Happy European Neighbors Day to all you Europeans out there. It's also National Blueberry Cheesecake Day. I'm not much of a cheesecake person.
But you're drinking blueberry beer.
So I don't know if I like blueberries. I eat lots of blueberries.
Mm-hmm.
They're great antioxidants and just...
I mean, blueberry cheesecake's just...
I mean, I have the boy eat blueberries all the time. We eat blueberries. Mango, kiwi, and what's the other one?
Strawberry.
And pear.
Oh.
He's really into pear, which is interesting.
Can't get into pears.
It's. I think people have a tough time with it. The best way I've ever had pears is like in julienne strips on a salad with like some toasted walnuts.
Fancy.
And like a vinaigrette. I'm telling you, it's banging.
God, I may eat at your house.
I mean, I'm just telling you, that's how I make it. It's so good. It takes one pear and I can make like 30 salads because it's julienne, it's just little strips.
I hate pears.
It's sandy.
They are gritty.
Yeah.
They can be very gritty, but that's because we're like poor people. We ate the poor pears. Like you eat the nice pears, and they're like, ooh, these are almost like apples. They're crisp and
I didn't know they didn't come out
good.
of a can. I thought they grew up in a can.
I mean, that's how we ate them.
Yeah,
And they were-
I've never had a pear that was not in a can.
It was. I always.
or asparagus.
It was like the sweet oyster of the sea. It
Yeah.
was like just,
I don't go to Whole Foods.
It was,
Can't afford that mess.
no, this is just Publix. You just buy like the pears you can get
Publix.
now. Oh, golly, I'm surprised I wasn't that.
Go to Save Right.
Kingston Grocery.
How dare you? How dare you, sir?
Very big inside joke on that one, by the way. And you had to live there to know.
Yes.
But yeah, like so you can get pears that like if you don't buy them in the cans or whatever, they're actually really really good. They're fairly crisp. They're not as crisp as an apple, but they're meaty.
I guess that's the problem. I like a really crisp apple.
Yeah,
And
I like
and
apples.
Pears tend to be mushy.
They can be. Yeah, they can be. But if you
Not
get them
as crisp.
fresh,
Okay.
if you get them fresh,
I'll try
they're actually really really good. Your kids will love them.
Okay.
yeah,
I'll
no,
try.
my kids do love them.
The kids
Yeah.
love them for whatever reason, but
Okay.
that's because their palates are not refined.
I'll tell you what, peaches in a can with some like high fructose corn syrup.
Millions of peaches.
Nothing beats that.
Peaches for
Ever.
free.
Millions of peaches.
Yep.
Peaches for me.
Yep. National Cherry Dessert Day. I'm not big on cherries. Oh, really? Is it that time already?
I'll take some
We haven't
cherries.
even gotten to the thing of what this is about. Let me just say, by the
All right,
way,
go
happy
for it.
birthday. Happy birthday to
I'll make you famous.
Helena Bonham Carter.
Bonham.
English, whatever. English actress and singer. She starred in Fight Club and the Harry Potter series. And she was just kind of hot trashy.
Bellatrix Lestrange.
Oh yeah, man.
She was hot trashy.
Tim Burton got her early too, man.
Oh,
he
yeah.
was married to her for a good time.
She was not
Yeah.
hot trashy. She was crazy.
Or trashy hot.
Crazy hot.
Crazy,
Like not like
trashy.
crazy, but like she was like looked like a crazy person.
Well, she was
but
like his
kinda
muse,
hot.
man. She inspired him.
Oh,
Some of his
well.
best work was with her.
I mean, it got inspired in Fight Club. I'll tell you that. There was a lot of inspiration, by the way. So happy birthday to her. And so
How old is she? Probably 50s by now.
She was born in 1966.
Wow. She's almost 60 then.
She was good for her age.
Yeah, never would have thought that.
No. Very surprise.
The ball.
Be the ball. Understood. All right.
That's a huge
We still.
That's not the one I wanted. Nope.
No. All right.
That's a huge
All right. Are you going to give me the music for the freaking jokes?
Huh?
Do I have to do everything? Oh, we're going to go with the real creepy, like.
You're gonna end up eating a steady diet of government cheese and living in a van down by the river.
Obviously, that was an interruption. A guy walks into a bar
Sorry.
and orders a beer. Do you know what the first rule of women's Fight Club is? He
What's
asked
that?
the bartender. Never talk about women's Fight Club? Asked the bartender. No, the guy replies. Apparently, it is never tell anyone that you're mad about. No, okay.
I don't think it means what you think it means.
No, it doesn't. Let's see. Oh, we should have checked to make sure the clicking thing is working.
Figured it out? Oh, yeah, we skipped cards. All right, do a few more jokes, then we'll do cards.
All right, we'll do cards and just a few more jokes.
In case you haven't figured out, this is going to be...
I'm throwing it off.
On the
guys. I'm
rails.
sorry.
Did we
It's
check
my
to
fault.
see if the button is working?
What are you talking about?
The freaking clipping button. That.
We did not check it, no.
All right, check it real
But I'm
quick.
trying it. I've hit it a couple times.
Oh, it worked. Yeah, I see James down there. All right.
Hello? Anybody home?
Very good. Glad that works. It was late. Or let's see.
hate
I
this
was
job.
late to my first Fight Club last night, so I missed the intro rules. Still, Fight Club was brilliant, and I'd highly recommend Fight Club. Not mine, and could be. I don't know. I don't know what any of this means. I have no idea what this means. It's not a read more. It's just whatever this
It
person
does not
said.
make it. They didn't type it in right.
All right. A lot of people seem to arrive late. All right. What's the difference between Fight Club and Narcissist Club?
What's that?
You always talk about Narcissist Club. I believe that. Yeah.
That's a good one.
I understand
I'm down for that one.
Yeah, that makes sense. First rule of Vegan Fight Club.
Always talk about it.
Always talk about it.
everyone about Vegan Fight Club. That also makes sense. That's yeah,
love
wow. Why don't people from abusive families report the violence?
Wow.
No, we're just not even gonna finish that one. That's just awful. That's
You always see
Wow.
the best ones.
Doesn't he pre-screen these jokes before?
Yikes.
No, that's the best part. There's no
no,
pre-screening.
I don't. Because I'm usually in a rush at this point, so I've just
My
massed.
favorite is when every
Pull
joke
them.
is read more
Yes.
because it's not pre-read
This
them.
is a very limited list, so I'm not really concerned tonight. I wish
way to take care of it in the bud.
the coronavirus started in Fight Club because what happens in Fight Club stays in Fight Club. I think that's more of a Vegas rule. I don't think that's
No,
true.
that's not.
Let's see. I joined a club. It's called Fight Club.
Ooh.
This person was also late. I was a little late for the first meeting, so I missed the introductory rules. But I highly recommend it for everyone and would love to discuss it with anyone who's interested. There's just a lot of people that seem to miss the intro to this.
Because they weren't, they don't know the rules.
This person was 5 minutes late. It feels like every one of these is just somebody's late. Just got back from Fight Club. It was really fun. I got there a little late, so I wasn't able to hear all the rules, but I'm sure they aren't that important.
Apparently, there's only
This is like
there's only one Fight
there's a
Club
lot of
joke.
people out there
Yeah.
talking about Fight Club breaking the first rule. My friend blamed himself for creating a Fight Club. I told him, "Don't beat yourself up." That's a little.
That's a deep cut.
That's
Yeah.
Deep cut.
that one.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
That's
Wow.
that was a random.
It can't be my fault.
People always assume I've never seen Fight Club, but I just don't talk about it. That makes sense.
That's
We'll go
fair.
with that.
I like it.
I'm fine with that one. I'm fine with that one. Yep, I like that one. When is Fight Club scheduled to reopen?
I don't know.
There's no telling. Zero. There is.
That's
no
a dad
telling.
joke right there.
My friend thanked me for inviting him along to Fight Club. I replied, "Don't mention it." Yeah. We're gonna have to say that one for next. Let's see. All right, I got it. A therapist said, "What's the issue, sir?"
I don't know.
A man named Dave said, "They kicked me out of Fight Club."
Okay.
Therapist said, "You want to talk about it?" Dave said, "You're damn right."
I'm not supposed to be within 200 feet of
They
a
kicked
school.
him out.
Yep, right. Wow. I discovered an underground Fight Club earlier. Bloody troglodytes.
Oh my god.
I'm surprised that made it on the
I
list.
mean,
That's
it's a good one. They live underground. They're bloody. I get it. I get it.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
you have to.
You better not.
The first rule of Fight Club is just try your best, guys, and have fun. Also, when it's your turn to bring snacks, be mindful of others' allergies. Yeah, I like.
I like it. I like it.
So how old are your kids going to be before you introduce them to Fight Club?
No,
I was thinking like 7,
no, probably not.
8.
We watched it
You're
at the hospital.
you watched it at the hospital.
My kids have the worst taste in movies. So we have the pilot that has a DVD player in it,
Nice.
and we watch the same 2 movies on repeat.
Let me guess. How your boys are 10 and
8.
10 and 8.
You're not gonna guess it, but try. You might come close.
No, here. This is the last Fight
Okay,
Club
good.
joke for now. I took a girl to Fight Club. Terrible place for a first date. We had nothing to talk about.
Somewhere out there are 4 terrible fathers I wish I could thank for this great night.
You got 3 right here.
Where's Durwood?
All right, I'll tell you the movies, just so you don't guess. Cars.
Oh, of course.
Which is fine.
Oh, that you took to the movies?
No,
What was the question?
They watch in the car.
Okay.
If they want to watch a movie in the car. And the other one is Like Mike.
I have no idea what that is.
It's the little Bow Wow movie from the 90s with Michael Jordan.
I really need fiberglass every time I drink this drink.
It is bad. I don't know what that means.
What, my beer?
Captain Crunch.
Oh.
Y'all,
Oh,
wow, y'all
you need
spaced on
texture.
that one
What does
hard.
fiberglass
I
have
was
to do
like,
with that?
God, like, what
You
did
don't,
I do?
you don't know what fiberglass and Captain Crunch have to do with each other?
No. Is there fiberglass in Captain Crunch?
You are pop culture deprived.
I am. Tell me.
Because it was the fact that it would cut up your mouth.
Okay.
And so it was like fiberglass.
Okay.
I was too poor for Captain Crunch.
I think I always went over.
got-
To Durwood's house to eat it.
We got
because
We got-
we always had Raisin Bran.
Admiral Mush.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking something like that too. Beaver to the punch.
It's like the bootleg version.
Wow, yikes! This is obviously went off the rails, which is great.
It's all right.
That's
That's
how
how
we
we
like
do
it.
it.
That's,
We
the
didn't
James,
do
that's
cards.
the James effect.
We got to do cards.
Oh yes, we got to do cards. Okay.
We'll do. Since we took too long, we'll do 3.
All right, we'll do 3. I missed a card. Where did it go?
James, you got some over there? All right, we'll do. Yeah,
Drop
1.
a card. All right, as usual, chat, you will be ready because I will draw 5.
3. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And from right to left, starting with 1, all the way to 5. So you pick it in chat. Chat 1 through 5. I'm sure reading this one at a weird angle is going to be fun.
All right, how many do we need of what?
All right, I got a
Just-
4.
you need
I got
3
a 5.
With just 3 cards total?
Yeah, but you can.
All right.
You can pick
Patrick
and
was
choose.
first, so
Whatever
5 right off the bat.
Okay.
Well, doing it wrong. He's got 5 as well. And then we will go with Matthew's number 4 and then number 2.
Okay. Feel good?
I feel good.
All right. So we'll
Grand.
start with
Great. Wonderful.
We'll start with the guest host. So I'll say that one for last. So this is a question. I'll put this on the 3-way.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll read the entire thing, and then I'll read the entire thing again and answer.
Okay.
So, what is the answer to life, the universe, and everything? Not 42. What is the answer to life, the universe, and everything?
Me?
Yep.
The amount of baby carrots I can fit up my ass.
Wow. Yikes. All right.
Alrighty.
I got a lot of 5s on that one.
What is the answer
hi, good to see
to
you.
life, the universe, and everything?
Unfathomable stupidity. I'm good with that one.
That's true.
I'll take that one.
Alrighty. Good one.
All right, number 4 was next.
All right. This is a fill in the blank.
Fill in the blank.
Fill in the blank.
Okay.
I'll read it, then I'll read it again, and you fill in the blank.
Very good.
It's a pity that kids these days are getting involved with blank. Okay. You. It's a pity these days that kids. Wait. It's a pity that kids these days are getting involved with.
Michelle Obama's arms.
Wow. Patrick Ewing.
It's a pity that kids these days are getting involved with.
Licking things to claim them as your own. I mean, the kids do that. Though.
Post-COVID,
if you're a
that's
little
great.
Kid,
Yeah,
Tide
it's
Pod
great.
If you're a
situation.
little kid,
Yeah.
All right.
It's a NyQuil chicken.
All right. We've got a question.
All right, we have a question.
I'll read it. Repeat. How?
I like that chat saves me because my friends would leave me out to dry with most of the cards I have.
Oh, we would. We give the worst ones. How am I compensating for my tiny penis? James, how am I compensating for my tiny penis?
By watching a hot person eat.
Oh my god, that's just weird. That's so strange.
The strangest ones are the best ones.
They are the
Martin,
best. Yes.
how am I compensating for my tiny penis?
The placenta.
Oh, God. Why?
The other was jobs,
Yep.
and the last was spontaneous human combustion. That's how
Okay.
you were.
You know what?
how you were doing
They
it.
were all
So
pretty rough.
Congratulations on that one. Glad that we could be of service.
Of course.
I forget where that other card went. I lost a card.
You lost one?
I had a floater. Sinkers and floaters somewhere. All right. By the way, it is also. You can cut back to.
Yeah,
me
I know.
again,
I got it.
well, just all right. Take a deep one. Excuse me, sir. It is also National Cooler Day. You know, like Yeti has finally come out with a cooler on wheels.
They never had one?
I mean, I just saw the first one that I'd ever seen before.
$1,400.
I got to give it. Yeah, it was actually super expensive. It was a huge cooler, but it had, and it like it wasn't even like good wheels. It was like the garbage plastic wheels.
Yeah, those are terrible.
And I was like, for how much people are spending on your cooler, and you're gonna put the garbage plastic wheels?
Yeah.
I was like, because I do I like them? Yes. But to me, they're really only good if you're there for somewhere for days.
It's like a boat cooler, right? Like you take deep sea fishing kind of thing.
It's just not.
They're not made.
You can't carry these things around because they stay so heavy, and it takes so like. I mean, it's just to me, it's unrealistic in terms of coolers.
Yeah.
Like I like the like. I don't know what you call them, but the more flexible ones, I just carry like a pack and just carry something in there.
Good.
Like
I like
those, I'm fine because those are day trippers. But I think most people are day trippers.
Yeah.
Like I'm not big with the monster
99%
cooler.
of people don't need that gigantic.
Most people
cooler
regret.
Keep it.
I feel like most people regret their purchase of the big monsters, unless there's somebody that goes to like a hunting lodge for like a week or something.
I get it.
The best cooler I've seen though, this was on YouTube. I've never seen it in person. A guy had almost like a go-kart, but it's electric.
Yes, I've seen
And you
those.
put the cooler on it, and you sit and ride the cooler.
Yes,
And it's got the
it's got the little
Yeah,
stick steering wheel. It's hilarious.
That's the best idea ever.
And it's got the little horn.
Yes,
that is good.
And
I love 'em.
the battery doesn't cool it, so you have to put ice in it. But other than that, who cares? That's fantastic.
Yeah, I think that's hilarious. I'd like
That's
one of
pretty
those. National Death Buster Day.
Death
Busters.
Busters.
It's the Friday before Memorial Day.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know
about that.
what is a Death Buster.
National Heat Safety Awareness Day. You know, has it felt like it's been miraculously cooler?
It's been very
this
nice.
year
Been very nice
so
weather.
far.
I think we had a super hot summer, but that was also like we haven't gotten into August and July yet.
Yeah.
So give it a
No,
minute.
but
Well, but
I
like
remember
last year, it was like
we were
way hot.
boiling already.
Because I was working on my deck. It was terrible.
We got
like in
El Nino coming in.
Germany, it's still in the 50s and low 60s right now.
Nice.
Really? Oh, nice.
I was packing for summer. And the wife's like, "No, you're gonna freeze your balls off. You might want to pack something for the
Well,
night."
but you're also hot natured too, so
Yeah,
that's
so like I love the cold. We'll walk around in flip flops. I mean, we used to do this all the time when it would get cold anyway. We'd walk around flip flops and bare feet. National Paper Airplane Day. So the boy is big on the paper airplanes. So I haven't showed him any of the books to build these things because then I'll lose all the paper in the house. I can't print anything. National Road Trip Day. Y'all remember that road trip down to Florida?
Yes.
Yes.
The GPS.
James got so pissed off on the way down. That was one of the funniest. James was so angry because everybody's falling asleep, and James is tired as hell.
People keep stay awake
Was
with
that
me.
your Audi?
No, that's my Volkswagen. No, my Audi.
Volkswagen.
Audi's before I went to Hawaii.
That's right.
And then on the way back, we went to what was it?
Oh, Medieval Times.
Medieval Times,
Yes.
and like, and Derek and I kept wanting to stop for a cigarette.
And like, get in the damn car. We're leaving. I'm leaving, you guys.
Look, I would say of all of my
Oh, what a mess!
of all of my trips with you guys and things we've done together, there's probably more. I could probably write a book about that trip.
We probably could. That trip, Japan, like I mean,
Yeah.
we had a bunch of
But that,
amazing trips.
I think the fact that we're not permanently banned from Medieval Times after that.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh!
that Sean's not.
Yeah, all of us. We were all
After Sean threw up in the
I
in
loved
the
heckling
bathroom.
the Green Knight because eventually he turned and like, yelled at us a little
He
bit.
was so mad.
Look,
He was so
look,
mad.
I still have cups from that.
Oh
Because
my
remember we
God.
had so many beer cups, it was like a stack
Yes.
like this.
I kept yelling. I was like, "Want some more soup?
I think we spent.
Where's some more soup? I'm out of soup."
I think we spent $4,000 at Medieval Times,
It was ridiculous.
and then we made everybody mad.
Everybody was
And
so
then our
pissed.
friend threw up in the bathroom.
Yes.
No,
multiple times.
we got there and he threw up in the bathroom and didn't tell anybody. He
Right.
sat down
I don't
and then
know
like
what-
didn't eat his food. I'm like, what?
I feel
why
like
aren't you eating this?
I feel like he's like a self cleanser.
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah,
all
a
he
purger.
does.
He's a purger.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a great road trip.
Maybe we
We'll
should
have to-
write a book about that.
We should write a book about
Between
some
that
of
and
those
Japan,
things.
Oh my gosh.
We could write a book that would probably sell ridiculously because people would not believe half the stuff that we did and lived. Let's see. National Title Track Day. That must be like a NASCAR kind of thing or something.
Title track?
Day?
Is that like an album, like a title track?
Maybe,
Like
I guess
a
so.
record, right?
Probably.
Title track.
All right. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Oh, I don't know.
National Wig Out Day. What does it mean to wig out again?
Like go crazy.
It's like
Just go nuts.
Yeah,
What's the wig part?
I don't know.
I think maybe you get so crazy that your wig
Like it
comes
falls off, like
Yeah.
a toupee kind of thing?
Yeah,
Makes
you
sense.
like Alexander Hamilton, your wig falls off.
Sally Ride Day.
Sally Ride,
I don't know what that is.
actress.
Did she
You
ride
think
trains?
it's Sally Field?
Oh yeah, maybe Sally Ride was the astronaut.
The one that... Never mind.
Challenger?
Let's just
Yeah.
move on. No, let's just move on. World Lindy Hop Day.
Boom, my favorite.
You want do tell?
Got no idea.
Oh, well, all right. Well, then all right, that wrecks that one. That's great. I don't see the chat moving at all. Oh, an astronaut. Thank you. Very good. Astronaut.
Oh, that's
Thank
right,
you.
astronaut.
Derek,
Ah,
look
We
at
haven't,
you.
we haven't had a comment in like 5 or 7 minutes.
There's nobody there.
Everybody's, like, spaced
Nobody
out.
there.
We're literally talking to each other. There's nobody
Everybody's
there.
spaced out. Well, I'm fine with that too. World Redhead Day. Everybody likes a good redhead.
Oh,
Hey, I married
I
one.
mean,
James
you
has
got
a good
you
redhead.
got like 3 gingers in the house now.
any of your kids have red hair?
The third one, we think.
Okay.
The first one,
More
no.
blonde.
What's like very recessive, right? It's hard to get it.
Well, I have no reds in my family that I know of.
Yeah, but your
Going back.
pale is all jacked too, though.
I prefer translucent. That's how I
So
identify.
you're gonna be in Little Mermaid 3. Got it.
So with
Can't talk about Mulvaney beer, but you're gonna talk about Little Mermaid.
Well,
So-
I mean, like we're talking about like underwater creatures, like translucent. He said translucent. Like most of the creatures at the bottom of the sea are translucent.
okay, how about alabaster?
Alabaster's fine.
So no, the first one, beautiful curly hair, blonde.
Yeah,
Second
yeah,
one,
super blonde.
got some good waves, kind of blondish brown. Probably gonna be more brown. The third one we think's red though.
So the middle one's a Lannister, is what he's saying.
The little one's a hellion. Man, she's put me
No,
put me to work.
redhead is the Wadlings.
Right,
Lannisters
but
are blonde.
Well, he just said like a brownish blonde.
Oh, okay, well, that was the second
Yeah.
one.
That would be a Lannister. That's
Yeah.
like more of a gold blonde.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what little man. That's what McFly is. He's more of a gold.
Both of mine had red hair coming out, and then they turned to like dirty blonde.
I
like
think
me.
that's the blood from the birth
That's
on there.
disgusting.
Okay, not like that.
Oh wow! All right. Well, that's not. Yikes. All right. Click it or ticket mobilization week, by the way. Emergency medical service. Thank you for all those emergency medical service people. Healthy and safe swimming week. Little man's now into swimming.
Nice. We're gonna do
So-
swimming lessons this summer.
He's got onto a swimming team, so we're doing that now. 'Cause
Oh, you can go to the aquatic center, can't you?
Yeah, we're gonna go up there. Yeah.
that's
nice.
a fun little thing.
Yes, nice.
International Heritage Breeds Week.
Dogs?
I don't know what that means. Mudbug Madness Days.
I don't know what that
Mudbug.
means.
Is that like an off-roading
No,
mud
that's
bug?
that's crayfish, right? Crawfish.
Is that what those are? Well, they are mud bugs technically.
Turn
Yeah.
on gambling. They're getting rowdy.
Oh well, excuse me.
You guys never turn on gambling. Every time I watch it, the gambling's like turned on the last 30 minutes.
It's because I gotta do it in a weird way now since I don't because we're using
not-
a
it's
whole
not
new
automatic,
system
yeah.
now. Like everything's different.
Martin jacked it up.
Oh, shut up! You like it?
It's a pretty system. It has a lot of pretty buttons.
Everything's much better now. It runs smoother. You don't have nearly as many errors and
sit
drop
back.
frames, and
Gotta shrink my head.
you can both.
Well, why don't you cry about it?
How dare you?
Little yellow spots on my fingers.
Wow. The next one's gonna be jaundice.
God.
Let's see. Come on. I don't know what it is about Chrome, but Chrome sucks.
It uses too much of your resources, too much RAM.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, I got 64
Kilobytes.
64.
64 gigs.
That's all you need.
No, it's got
Bill
64
Gates.
gigs. So I mean, it's like I don't have anything that runs that much. Even
Yeah.
all my video and video, audio, and photography editing doesn't take that much. It's something's weird with it. I probably have a virus. The boys probably been on here like downloading crap.
Oh no.
Herpes.
Sue, we turned on gambling and Sue just got wiped out.
Oh, is it working?
Yeah.
So I don't need to turn it on.
Well, I guess it is. I'm gonna give Sue some points. Just got wiped out. What first roll?
We'll give Sue some points. She hasn't been here in a while. We'll load her up.
Here,
a
let me
little
gamble
bit.
real quick. What's the maximum?
You don't get to.
What?
I just delete your points.
Don't you do it?
Deleting them right now.
Don't you do it? Give my points to Sue.
Let's see. Ooh, there's tipping.
Ron's got 15,000 points. I lost.
Where's it at? Loyalty points. Let's see who's in the lead. I am on the wrong one. Oh, nope. It's right. Who is in the lead?
It's not me.
Good Lord, Ron Hardcrackers is in the
I
lead.
told you. He's killing it.
No joke. Ron Hardcracker's in the lead with 14,850 points. He has
Good
been
job.
gambling away. We're going to have to reward him for that. Patrick Grant in second with 14,700.
Wow, 100 points behind.
And tailing in third by not a small margin is Yardism with 8,100. So the two,
I believe in you, Yardism.
The two have pulled away substantially in this lead. And where's poor Sue Jones? Sue Jones, I'll give you some.
I think I got like 1,900. You can give him to Sue. Take mine away.
I just delete yours just for the fun of deleting them.
About to quit this crap job anyways.
I mean, you know.
I mean, the benefits are really good, though.
They're great. I mean, you drink so much, like, usually he gets Taco Bell, too, until he shows up late, and then he's...
I know, right? The dang work schedule's killing me.
I don't know why I don't see Sue Jones on here.
But I
Is
mean,
that because she's at 0?
She's at the end. Sue, sorry.
Oh, there she is.
You get kicked out of the casino.
she negative?
Yeah. She's negative.
We'll pop her up.
Watch her, she like immediately lose all the points again.
I think that would be
She's
hilarious.
gonna quit.
All right, there we go. Dish it out. Dish it out, Sue. Don't listen to them. Bunch of bastards. Let's see. Is there anything else on today? What is the word of the day? The word of the day is indeed a noun and has not one, but two definitions. One, a bird of prey's nest.
What,
Two,
indeed?
any high and remote but commanding place.
Perch.
No, this would be out of your favorite series.
So it's a nest or a high
Dark
up
Tower
place?
or
No, the
Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones.
The Wall.
It was way
High
up
tower?
high. Tyrion Lannister dumped her out of it.
Tower?
The Eyrie.
Oh,
the Eyrie.
What's it called?
The Eyrie.
The Moon
Eyrie?
Gate?
Yeah, but it's the Eyrie or whatever it was.
Eyrie, yeah.
So that's what Eyrie means?
Yeah.
Eyrie?
So it's a
Well, they
Eyrie,
were like-
EYRIE.
Yeah.
I feel bad because I didn't know
Very
what that
learned.
meant. I didn't know what that meant.
So that was, it's basically a nest way high up.
So dumb.
How dare you?
You just
sir.
have so much now that you can reread Game of Thrones now just for that one part.
I've never listened to the
Congratulations.
audiobooks. I thought about going back
Donald
and doing
Hughes
the
got it.
audiobooks.
Donald Hughes, where have you been?
Eyrie.
We haven't seen Donald Hughes in a long time. That's a
Came in and clutched it at the end.
That's a what was I gonna say? Nope, that wasn't it. Welcome back, Donald Hughes.
Over the summer, I'm just going to record myself reading Game of Thrones and then post it.
All right, we're gonna do some trivia real quick. See who's gonna win. Don't we do like the trivia music with the kazoo?
No, that's the best.
You
that's
want
the best right
game
there.
show?
Yeah, isn't that what we do for trivia? Yeah. All right.
Make like a tree and get out of here.
All right, sounds good. Wow, there's only two things on this day.
Big time.
It's like, wow. In what year was the final episode of I Dream of Jeannie?
Ooh, 19.
What year was the final episode of I Dream of Jeannie?
67.
72.
Because I only know that show, it started off in black and white and ended in color. So that's somewhere in the 60s.
Man, people are rolling it in, and nobody's gotten it yet. What was the year of the?
I feel like it's gotta be like
last
late 70s,
episode?
right? I mean, like late 60s,
I
early
love
70s.
how
Yeah.
you guys are just here for mass confusion
Oh, yeah.
because everybody.
Oh, who got it?
Spent finally got it.
71.
1970.
That was a year.
Oh, 70?
I was 2 years off.
1970. Patrick
Wow.
got it as well. Steve Spent.
Steve Smith
Sounds
said
one. Very
70,
good.
79, right.
In terms
I was close.
of
I was close.
I mean, that's pretty iconic.
Yeah. Oh, damn it.
You had to hit it, didn't you?
Improbability drop failed.
Let's see. No, that one doesn't even sound interesting, so we'll pass on it. In 1925, Ty Cobb became the first Major League Baseball player to collect this many extra base hits. How many? In 1925, Ty Cobb became the first Major League Baseball player to collect this many extra base hits.
100.
You would be
What is
wrong.
an extra base hit?
I don't even know.
3,000.
I mean, you're closer than he is.
So an extra base hit is when they go
Wow.
on first
Second or
base
triple.
and hit the ball
Piping.
again.
Matthew, 1,000.
What was it?
1,000.
So maybe that means it's a double or a triple, not a single.
You're asking me the wrong question.
Okay.
Aren't you the baseball guy?
I played it. I didn't keep stats.
I would say there's so many stats in baseball you would
It's
drown.
like,
No.
It's like telling Muhammad Ali, "Hey, what were all the rules to boxing?" He didn't give a
Punch.
damn. He's like,
Punch hard, don't fall
knock
down.
his ass out, don't fall down.
Punch and get Parkinson's.
It's 1,000.
Wow, yikes! All right, that just got dark real bad. Let's
Anything
see.
more than a single. Okay, there we go. That's what I want to know.
I never know any of these bands.
We'll say it. Maybe they do. Somebody will.
I mean, you don't listen to music, so.
Matthew will know it.
All right. In what year did the Romantics perform "One in a Million" and "Open Your Door" on American Bandstand?
1975.
The Romantics?
You're not qualified. That was the closest one that I could find.
1980.
Closest.
A lot of times I'll know the songs, but I'll know the bands from like the old, the old school ones. What
Dude,
did American
this
band-
kazoo is killing it.
Oh, so good, isn't it? I
yeah.
love this guy.
Can this be
Kazoo
elevator
solo.
music?
Kazoo solo. I know, right?
Sam got it. 1984.
There we go. Good year.
I love the kazoo on this. I can
Dude,
listen to this all day.
killing it.
He goes to town on
It
it.
is the jam. Oh, wow. There's not much else in sports history.
Okay.
All right. So in 1990, the Philadelphia Phillies retired Mike Schmidt's number. What number was it? Not that one. In
Mike Schmidt.
1990, the Philadelphia Phillies retired Mike Schmidt's number. What number was it?
15.
69.
That would be...
No! God, please, no!
Oh, Patrick Grant. Number 20.
Number 20.
They're killing it tonight.
I know, right?
They're way faster than they normally are. They're like, well, this is the last one forever. All right.
Well, now they have
This is a weird
ChatGPT
one.
to help find all the answers now.
See all the little yellow spots on my fingers?
That's interesting.
What you got?
In 1979, Buck Henry and Bette Midler were guests on Saturday Night Live. This was the last episode for this duo.
What now? What year?
In 1979, Buck Henry and Bette Midler were guests on Saturday Night Live. This was the last episode for this duo.
Dan Aykroyd and Jim Belushi.
No, Jim Belushi and Chevy Chase.
I will accept that answer, picking and piping. As
Suck it.
Oh, it was?
I knew that one.
that is it.
I knew Chevy left around that time.
Yeah, he did. He did.
I thought Dan Aykroyd stayed
All right,
stayed around a little longer.
All right. Well, that'll do it for my
Well, the
section.
duo was the.
I'm sure you're well prepared as usual.
How dare you, sir? This will be an open forum.
Nerds.
We're gonna bring back some Revenge of the Nerds. What we listen to? Nope.
I want that kazoo back.
I feel like a DJ.
I mean,
I gotta, get,
it's
I
your.
gotta, I gotta get a banger.
Can we get
There
DJ
we
White?
go. DJ. How dare you? So,
What's a banging going on?
welcome to the D20. What are we going to talk about today? Actually, I actually do have something to talk about. So, you know.
Well, Lottie freaking God!
Wow. The improbability drive given.
That was not. Was that improbability?
That was improbability.
No, he did give it. So I guess I'll There's a couple things I want to talk about, and then I'll break into the main topic. So with James here, I don't know if we talked about it before, but have you watched Ted Lasso?
Yo, I love Ted Lasso.
Okay, so are you up to date
Say
with
that
it?
with a little less
So
reaction, will you?
this is a spoiler-free edition.
Okay.
But probably one of the best shows I've ever seen. Like comedy shows, like it's just been very, very solid and
Very
put together.
heartful.
Yeah.
Comedy now, is it?
Well, it's funny, but it has heart behind it.
But the characters are real, and it's the same guy that wrote Scrubs.
Yeah, Bill Lawrence.
So it kind of makes sense because he has got a good, like, he always writes good characters. But the I think this is the end. If I remember reading correctly,
Yeah, 3 seasons.
They're planning on it to be over and done with, and they've built up nicely. So I've talked about Ted Lasso before, so I won't go into it. But it's an American like college football coach that had a good season and has a good like way of
Is this
coaching.
the one with Woody Allen?
No, Jason Sudeikis.
You would like the show.
I know,
It's
like
a good
4
show.
actors.
No, you love it.
I don't watch TV.
Hey, my Mark's terrible about it. But anyways, so he's hired to coach a Premier League football team, soccer, that's like doing very poorly. They fired their coach, and it's 3 seasons of. It's kind of hard not to spoil it, but anyways, they do really poorly, so they get relegated, which means they get dropped down to like basically the minor leagues.
What can I add in?
Yeah.
That he was hired as a punishment because the owner of the team, her husband loved this team and he divorced her. And so she wanted to hurt him by hurting his team. That's why she hired this just completely random guy.
So this is Major League.
Well, this is.
so
I mean, that's Major League. Like,
Yeah,
it's
kind of. Yeah,
Premier
actually,
League,
it's
she was
kind of
trying
similar.
to. She was trying to
Yeah.
ruin the team.
It's not
which is-
very like it's not. So the story, the plot is not really revolutionary. It's kind of like I said, it's like Major League and a million other things.
And-
you take like Bad News Bears and they
Yeah.
make them great, but the characters and like the people in it are really good. So they
Flying V.
so they get relegated, which means they get dropped down to like the lower tier. And then they do
Night
well
Sea.
enough to get bumped back up. And
Night
so
Sea.
the new season, they're doing very well. But the show is like, I don't know, like the penultimate episode, the next to last episode of this season was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It brought a lot of things together. They do really well. And actually, so the show's Ted Lasso, so he's the coach, right? His whole thing is that he says it many times. He doesn't care about winning or losing. It's all about trying to make the characters, but making the players better people, making them work together as a team. And so he like talks about that all the time. And of course, they're millionaire soccer players, so they always butt heads. But by the 3rd season, they're kind of coming together and they're playing well. And so you see it. So there's been a couple of episodes this season where he's not even the main character.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's kind of taken a step back. So it's very well done, whereas like he's kind of done what he said he's going to do. And so leading to the last season or last episode of the last season, I think he's going to kind of like, it's going to kind of show that he's achieved what he's meant to do, right? Like he's not the coach. He's not the driving force. It's like, I guess, what's the coach from Alabama? Nick Saban?
Yep.
Right. So, it kind of reminds me of him in the fact that like he makes everybody a better player. Because I've seen some speeches by him. So he makes everybody a better player and a better person. So they all gel together. I have a feeling like Alabama would probably do pretty well for a few years if Nick Saban wasn't there, right? Because all these players have been there and they've been like working together and doing well. So anyways, it's just a phenomenal show. And I don't know how it's going to end. We'll see. It airs next week, so I'm not going to review it. But it's leading up to a very, very
You could
good
review
ending.
what you have so far.
I have before. I've already talked about it before. I'm not going to talk about it
Oh,
again.
this is just a constant repeat.
I think that with Ted though is that the
Well, I figured James had watched it, so I wanted to talk to him.
James should talk about Dungeons and Dragons because he's apparently enthralled with Dungeons and Dragons now.
Anyway, so with the show, it's good with the show because each season has its own feel. The first season is about Ted escaping from his past
Trying to keep a
to
little
run
bit
away.
spoiler-free.
I know, but it's like
I know.
he's like running
Yeah, you're
away.
right, you're right.
Then the season 2 is like he is growing and the players are growing and they're turning inward to be better people. And then season 3 is you're seeing that payoff of them having faith in one another and believing in one another and standing up for one another. in really powerful ways, and it's a great show.
That was great, yeah. But anyways, it was ending, so I wanted to bring it up. If you have not seen Ted Lasso, 100% watch it. Martin, you're about to be on vacation for 2 weeks. Just get Apple Plus and just watch it on your phone.
You've got the Apple phones, so just do the Apple TV.
Yeah, just watch it while you're taking a crap. But the D scale this week is this song. There we go. Super Mario Brothers movie.
Dude.
I took the kids to see it. Have you seen it?
No.
Martin?
Yeah,
James
yeah,
saw
sure.
it?
I have. Yeah.
No, you have
No,
not.
I've seen it.
You've not. Piece of crap. So the last Super Mario Brothers came out in the 80s with who was it, like Dom DeLuise or something?
It was oh my God, he was in Spawn too.
What in the hell? It was John Leguizamo.
Yeah,
Was Luigi.
Yeah.
And then the other guy. Anyways, it was awful, right? So the new one is like the new Super Mario style, but the movie was great. Like I don't want to. I mean, obviously the plot's not very important, but all the little small things, like the little Easter eggs from Nintendo and stuff, were great.
Jack Black.
Jack Black as Bowser
made that movie.
Martin's just trolling me now. All the voice actors really good. Jack Black as Bowser was great.
Yeah.
You know, he's saying peaches, peaches, peaches,
Oh,
peaches.
And it was just like a gag.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, Tenacious D in a Mario Brothers movie was great.
Yeah.
I thought, what's his name? Not Chris Pine. What's the other Chris?
Oh, the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
What I should
Chris
do.
Pratt.
Yeah,
what
Chris
I should
Pratt.
do
Chris
is
Schwarzenegger.
I should move. Wow. I should move the board over to James and just let James troll.
Oh God. No, so Chris Pratt as Mario was great. Princess Peach was great. Everybody was good. I have 2 complaints. Yoshi was not in it, except for like a little bitty like cameo.
That gives room for the sequel.
Actually, I think and there was no. It was a Super Mario Brothers movie, and they had a couple like Nintendo like jokes in it. But there was no other Nintendo characters. Well, besides, Donkey Kong was the main character. I would have liked to have seen like Link or somebody thrown in there, maybe.
Dude, Link is going to have its own series. I guarantee they're going to make a movie for Link. Sequel for Mario Brothers will have Yoshi in it. Probably have Wario.
I kind of figured they would
and
do that.
Waluigi or whatever the other guy's name is.
But I will say one thing that are we down a shot? I think
We are.
The one thing that I heard as a complaint that I thought was incorrect was the Mario voice. Right? So you know in the games he's got that really annoying like
It's me, I'm Mario.
Yeah. Thank you, James. Good impression. If it was that for the entire movie, I probably would have blown my brains out.
Emotional damage.
Thank you, Uncle Roger. So the fact that it wasn't that the entire movie, I'm happy with. I thought he did a good job.
Everybody
with the voice.
complained about that at the beginning, that it wasn't the voice actor doing Mario. But you're right. If he did that for an hour and a
If
half,
he did that for an hour and a half, I would have killed myself. Or if it was that. So, can I just rate this damn thing and we be done with it?
No.
All right. Anything you've seen good lately?
I've been rewatching Community.
Okay, good choice.
So I had the first time around, I only saw like the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And then I decided it's all there. Let me watch all 6. Season 4 was garbage. Season 5
Is that the one
okay.
where he left?
That's the one where he left. Yeah. Season 5's okay, and season 6 is just garbage. It's like I'm really like
Season 6 is bad?
Oh,
I never saw it.
I'm just trying to just push through. But when literally the episode that Donald Glover left was the best episode, and from then on it's trash.
It went bad then? Okay, fair enough. Well, since Martin's being a turd bucket, I'll finish this up.
I think we should just keep talking for like 20, 30 more minutes.
I mean, I'm having a blast. I don't know what y'all are doing. But,
But I haven't really seen anything new. I'm watching Silo, so I'm not going to review that until it's over. So when we come back from summer break, I'll review Silo for 4.5 hours. You're welcome.
Do Citadel?
I'll also release my Game of Thrones podcast where I just read the book.
Okay.
With the voices. That sounded kind of like a little Mario music right there. And,
But can you do the voices like?
It's me, Cersei. I'm
me,
leading the
Tyrion.
test. It's me, Tyrion. I'm here.
Oh my.
What else is good? Watching Veep. So have you ever seen Veep?
Yes,
Talk
all
about that.
Veep.
I finished Billions. That was good. Well, it was like Billions was like a U curve, right? Third season, second, whatever, second, you know, it gets really good and then it just goes to crap. Mart's like got so many sound effects. All right, we'll end this, then we'll talk. Let me review the Super Mario Brothers movie. I'm waiting for a Zelda movie.
Oh God, yeah.
Here comes the flesh rocket.
Motorboat? You play the motorboat?
Throw me a freaking bow.
I'll give it a solid 4. 8 out of 10.
You know what you need to do at the end of this?
No.
Is that when it's finished, just have it just putter out and just.
We don't need to do anything. We're done. I'm done. I'm over this. I'm over this job.
That guy in
Martin makes me do this job, and then he just ridicules me.
You love every bit of it. You have no problems with it.
I do.
Oh, what's that one? Is
Oh,
it?
we're doing a different one? Hold on. I can stop.
Well, I mean,
That's fine.
I mean, this sounds very Yiddish.
You're gonna end up eating a steady diet of government cheese and living in a van down by the
sounds about
river.
right. Yes, it is that time each week. The time that you are craving because you currently can't buy eggs because they're so freaking expensive. Yes, it's that time each week where your funds have been dwindling away. The government is trying to come out with CBDCs so that way they can control everything in your life. But that's okay. The one thing they can't control is your ability to suspend disbelief. And that's what we bring you each week in the Friday Night Playhouse. That time each week where we come with the thunder. Yes, it's that time where you get to suspend that disbelief and be immersed in the amazing artwork that is the Friday Night Playhouse. In this scene, we have 3 gentlemen behind a convenience store. And oh, the drama. Let me have that a minute.
What are we doing?
It's a homework assignment.
What is it?
Human sacrifice. Yep.
On a long enough timeline, the survival rate for everyone drops to 0.
Please don't.
Oh, give me your wallet. All right. Oh, James. 1320 Southeast Benning Apartment A. That's a small cramped base apartment, isn't it?
How'd you know?
Yeah, they always give the crappy base apartment letters instead of numbers. Come on. All right, James. You going to die today? Is this a picture of your mom and dad?
Yes.
Yeah. You know, your mom and dad are going to have to call a kindly doctor so-and-so to dig up your dental records because there's not going to be much left of your face. Flip.
Yeah, animals and...
Does he have a duplicate?
No. Too much school?
It should be, please God, no. Are y'all mixed up?
Yeah, animals and Tyler.
I think he has a duplicate. Or I have a duplicate.
This is the best scene ever.
Anyways. Looks like an expired community college student ID. What did you use to study there, James?
Yeah, animals and
stuff, right? Yeah, makes sense. So how come, what's the problem?
Too much school?
No. Oh, yeah? Would you rather be dead?
No, please. No, God, no.
Look, I'm keeping your license. I know where you live. I'm going to check in on you. If you aren't back in school and on your way to being a veterinarian in 6 weeks, you will be dead. Now get the hell out of here.
I feel sick.
Well, you know what? Imagine how he feels.
I don't care. That was horrible.
You know what? Tomorrow will be the most beautiful day of James's life. His breakfast will taste better than any meal he has ever eaten. And scene. Yes, awkward it may be, but truth it always will be. Yes, that time each week where we bring you, like I said, the thunder. Sometimes it is a deafening silence, but either way, you have been blessed beyond your means and more than you deserve, because we bring this to you, the little people. Yes, your 401ks are going to tank, the stock market's going to go down, Bitcoin, smash coin, forget all that mess.
Buttcoin.
Be here each time, 9:30, 9 o'clock, after this summer, for the Friday Night Playhouse on the Literate Friday show over here on the Overpipe channel. We'll see you then.
That was a tough one.
Well, we're gonna fire the stationary
copy editor?
guy. Yeah. And that
So,
guy's
okay,
gonna-
just tell me if you see what's different with mine than yours, because
Yes, it's obviously different than what mine is. All right, we'll get to something. Let's cue
no, it's
something
the
else.
same.
So you start on the page and then you just flip
Yeah.
it.
And you
Oh, yep. So there we go.
Because I didn't realize it was multiple pages like that.
That's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Yeah, you've been here in a while. It's okay. It's all right. No
Well, let me
big
see
deal.
if mine has
No
that.
big deal.
Oh, mine
It does. It does have that on the back. I had no idea
That's
any of that in the
well,
back.
When I say flip, that's what I mean.
Oh.
Yeah.
Apparently we're all idiots. Except for Martin.
This is the few times this ever happened, so congratulations to me. I just watched Fight Club for the first time, and I gotta say, I almost broke the first rule. That's probably gonna happen. Why wouldn't a Fight Club video game sell well?
I don't know.
The
you can't
marketing
talk
would be non-existent. And can't do it. Two guys are standing in an empty warehouse at night looking around. One of them turns to the other one and says, "You know, maybe we should start talking about Fight Club." I mean, that could probably help. What's the best part about a Fight Club joke?
I don't know what.
The punchline. Oh. Yeah, that does it, doesn't it? The first rule of Fight Club. God dang it, I've already broken it. Did you hear about the Fight Club where cows smoked marijuana?
No.
The stakes were high.
Wow.
That's a good one right there. You shouldn't stop.
I was so thankful. I couldn't thank my friend enough for getting me into Fight Club. Don't mention it, he said. Yeah, that makes sense. This person was also late for Fight Club. We'll skip him. I set up a Fight Club. No one came because I didn't tell anyone about Fight Club. That could be a problem.
Yeah, tell him at some point.
In the Chinese version of Fight Club, the main character thought he had befriended a crazy anarchist. Turns out he was Wong the whole time. Wow, that's
awful.
Yikes.
I love it.
Let's see. Oh yeah, there was a long one. Just a long one. I was gonna.
Bust that long one?
Yep. Well, it might be. Let's see. A local nunnery started a Fight Club.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
Oh yeah, the bitch.
Yeah, that's okay. Obviously, such an event had to be very under the radar, so very few people knew about it. One of the best friends' aunt is a nun, so he invited me to go with him. I went once, immediately got hooked, and now we go every Tuesday night. I told my wife that I had to work late Tuesday nights. Then my friend and I would go place bets on the nuns. Okay. Eventually, my wife got suspicious and thought that I was having an affair. When she confronted me about it, I had no other option but to tell her about the Fight Club. Yikes. Obviously, she didn't believe me, so I told her I'd bring her with us the next time we went. Tuesday rolled around, and the three of us went to the nunnery. To my wife's astonishment, when we walked in, two of the sisters were going at it while men cheered them on from all sides. We watched the rest of the fight, and as at its brutal, and it was a brutal one. In the end, one of the sisters landed a mean uppercut that knocked the other one out. The crowd erupted in cheers. Out of nowhere, the nun that ran up to me and kissed me right on the mouth in celebration. Time froze. My wife couldn't believe that what was happening before her eyes, and she stormed out. That night, my wife left me, and I haven't seen her since. So that's the story of how my wife thinks I'm having an affair with a nun. Moral of the story, never bring your wife to a nun fight. This is so
wow.
ridiculous. Insane.
What is the improbability drive stuck?
It hates
I love
me,
it.
that's for sure. Wow, me too.
That wasn't even me.
My
Oh, that was
friend, my friend blamed himself for creating a fight club. I told him, "Don't beat yourself up." Yet we've done that one.
There's always so many fight
Dude,
clubs.
the high stake was one though.
The high stake one.
The high stake was good.
That was a good one. We should have left it on.
Good
that
classic.
one.
Good classic.
That's okay though. We can leave it on that one because. Indeed. I got nothing.
Got any more?
Nope. That's all I got.
I gotta say, man, it's been a good year.
It's been a good year. Been a good season.
We had a good
James,
season.
thanks for jumping in
Thanks
here.
for joining in.
hanging out with
Season
us.
3, right?
Season 3.
Nice.
So we'll be starting season 4, going into the fall. So back in
It'll be
August.
all techno music from season 4.
Hard,
Not
heavy
sure.
German techno.
That probably
Rammstein.
don't.
Yes.
Why not? I mean, sure.
Do you know from
y'all feel free to go ahead and cue those up.
from Grandma's Boy? Like the guy that's coding in that room is like there's like the heavy just bass.
This is what I deal with.
That's good. I think that's what we ought to. That
is
should be
my
the intro
group.
song.
I'm trying to think. Is there anything else on the board I haven't hit?
When is next season? I don't know. When does school start back?
You slammed her, you dumped your donut, you gave her dog a sausage, you stuffed her like a Thanksgiving turkey.
Probably.
About right.
When are we coming back?
August.
August? Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah. Comes after.
You need to get a new sound effect. The sound effect of Jim Carrey coming out of the rhino.
I tried that one. It doesn't work.
I just want the sound of it.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work because the little girl doesn't shut up, and she goes, "Mommy!"
That makes it even better.
I can't do it because it's too. It's her. She is too obnoxious in it. And
That is
so
the
I
best
can't
scene
do
of
it.
film
Trust
ever
me.
made.
Like the
There-
rest of our show is not obnoxious.
There are so many deleted sound bites because they don't work. It's amazing. Either there's music or there's interruptions or it's just not. It just doesn't key up well.
There was one we were trying to do, or you were trying to do when I was listening, and it was a great bite, but there was so much other stuff going on
You
during
just
it.
can't do it.
Like you don't realize it when
Yeah.
you're listening to it. That there's all this other stuff going on, and it just wouldn't work.
Yeah.
And it really sucked because it was a funny one. We do have to take another shot. So what do you want to drink?
All right, you pick it, D.
Ooh. Angel's Envy. Did we try benchmark yet?
We have not.
Okay. Here.
Trying to see if we had anything else.
Pretty good. So 4.
Sub 4.
So I will say my my
come
new
on. You had to hit the foolproof?
yeah man. My new season resolution will be I'm gonna keep a notebook with like a bank of like stuff like D20 stuff to talk about. So I'm not.
This is the
I'm not
no joke
behind.
stuff. By the way, made by Buffalo Trace.
Oh, is it Buffalo Trace?
Buffalo Trace makes
They
that
make
one.
a lot of like stuff, don't they?
They have a ton. Yeah. That brand has, that distillery has a
Is it
ton of
owned by
brands.
Sazerac or one of the big ones?
Sazerac, yep.
Yeah.
That's correct.
That's what I figured.
Well,
We
what you
had
could
that
do is just-
Sazerac rye. That Sazerac rye is pretty
Yeah,
good.
a lot of them are.
We got to try that White Dog at some point. That's the weeded clear mash.
Oh, I know. I see that
What
one.
it
I didn't
looks
want to
like.
open up a new one. I figured we'd work on the ones that were already. Anyways, love you guys.
Love you.
It's been
Salute.
fun. Salute.
Cheers. Cheers to you, brothers.
Cheers. Ooh, that one is spicy meatball. Oh God,
That's good.
that's
It's got good flavor,
That's good.
but it's hot.
Yeah.
The taste is
It is very hot.
Yeah.
the taste is
It
on
like
point.
went down. No, the taste is good.
The taste is on point. It's like it's nice. It's subtle. It's not overly sweet, but it has some sweetness. But it's got like a good caramel type of note to it.
Yeah, the aftertaste is very like
Finish is
caramelish.
very easy.
Yeah.
It does. I mean, given
good.
that it's 125 proof.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Is it
stout.
really?
Yeah, that's what I said, numbnuts.
Well,
Too drunk
to
to
your
hit a
resolution, get a iPhone, whatever that you have, the notepad that's in there. Just when you think of something in real time, write it down, and then you can elaborate on that.
Well, usually
That's
I'm
what I
pretty
do.
good about, like, I can finish something, you know, watch a new movie, read a book or whatever, you know, within a week or two.
But somehow he talked about the same thing each week.
No, I do not talk about the same thing each week.
When he's here.
I break it up. But every now and then, like, well, sometimes I want to, like, when we talked about guilty pleasure shows, like, that was an idea that I had.
Yeah.
I like that idea. But, like, you know, sometimes stuff goes in and it comes out, you know, and I forget about it. But
What about shows that your wife wanted to watch and you watched with them, but you secretly like it?
By the way, for those who are still here,
I kind of brought that up one time.
we are smoking.
I did
Cartel.
put that in the bowl call so everybody knew. Because there's some reality shows that really what I did do during the break is read more. I really fell off on reading, and that was my like New Year's resolution was to read more, and I fell off on that again. It's hard, man.
I don't know how to read.
Life sucks.
I mean, you were working on the Wheel of Time audiobook.
I still am.
I stopped at like book 11. It's just, God, it's just so long.
It gets really good when you jump into Brandon Sanderson's section.
Oh, God, he's so good.
He is
Yeah.
really, really good.
Maybe
his if you haven't listened to or read the what is the little trilogy he did?
Mistborn.
The
Mistborn's
Mistborn
great.
is really good. It's short.
Yeah.
It's like Dragonlance short.
It is.
But
It's good.
really good. Very different. Like they're elementalists in terms of like
They're metallologists.
Which I mean they consume the elements of the metals.
Yeah.
And that gives them abilities. Like you'll have some that are like this a snapshot or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they can flick a coin or something somewhere and they can jump to it. And it's like so they
Oh, that's
have like
cool.
certain little abilities
Yeah.
that they receive. Some like will burn like silver and it'll boost their strength and
That's what Brandon Sanderson's good at, and his own stuff is like the magic systems and creating the worlds
Yeah.
and stuff. He's really good at that. He's good. I mean, I think he's a great writer.
I thought he did a great job finishing off the Wheel of Time.
he also had a
He did
YouTube
few books for
series.
you.
Have you ever
Yeah.
seen it?
He's
He's
got-
got a whole YouTube series.
And he's got actually his one of his videos was a prompt for one of the D20s where he was talking about things that translated well into books and did not. And he says it more eloquently than I can, but like he's not, you know, as an author you would think that he would be very like take my book and make it into a movie, right?
Yeah.
But he does not believe that at all. He's like, if you take one of my books and make it into a movie, it'll be crap. He's like, you need to take it and form
Adapt
it into
it,
a
yeah.
movie. He's like, a book is not a movie.
No.
They don't work out. He's like, if you take a book and just translate it straight, he's like, it'll be terrible. But his Way of Kings series, if you haven't read that, highly recommend it.
I've been struggling to get into it.
It is a struggle at the beginning, but once you get about halfway through the first book, it's like Game of Thrones,
Oh,
right?
so 400 pages in is no
yeah, no,
problem.
right, 500 pages.
It's a huge book. It's not small.
So like when I first picked up,
It's a Robert Jordan style
it
size
is.
book.
When I first picked up Game of Thrones on a whim 20 years ago at a bookstore, I almost put it down about halfway through because I was like going to the appendix and like looking at the you know the family trees trying to figure out who the hell all these people.
Like freaking George R. R. Martin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. George R. R. Martin's book, Game of Thrones, because all the names are similar and it's very confusing.
Yeah.
But once you get to that halfway point and you kind of know what's going on and you know the people, it takes off.
Yeah.
And it really takes off. And he has that like
Matthew, thanks for hanging out with
that
us.
Brandon Sanderson, like he builds it 90% of the way up and that last 10% is like a roller coaster ride. So once you get like halfway up and you realize where it's going and it goes down, the rest of the books all flow together
Yeah.
really, really well.
So do you think he'll be alive to finish the rest of his
No.
series?
No.
I don't think so either.
Who? Yeah,
Durwood
he's like our
called
age.
Durwood called Jordan, by the way. He said
Oh, he's not gonna
there's
make
no
it.
way.
Yeah.
Because I mean we were reading it in high school.
Yeah.
Oh, George Martin, knock on wood, I love him.
No, he's
He
dead.
may not make
He's
it.
dead. He's a piece of shit.
Brandon will.
No, he's
Oh, Sanderson, yeah.
Dude
Sanderson,
writes
yeah.
4 books a year.
Yeah, no, Sanderson's like our age. He's fine. No. It's
Oh, George
R. R.
Martin?
Yeah.
No. And the bad thing is, he won't let anybody else write it.
Yeah.
He's not like Jordan.
But
So
he
the
will-
HBO
he will-
series will stand.
He will cave and let them produce it on HBO though.
That bullshit. I'll fight somebody. I will tell you what. The last season of I don't care anymore.
Wow, I
it's
never
been
seen
so
Derek
long.
get so hot about something.
The last season of Game of Thrones was trash.
Yes.
Right? Because they rushed it.
Yeah. Well, it shows.
I'm not doing this time. But the scene.
What we're gonna do? Break open the white dog.
Okay. The scene. I will say this: the scene where the live dragons flew over Winterfell brought a tear to my eye because I started reading those books right out of high school.
Yeah, I was like, we were
No,
young.
you were in high school.
I might have been a senior
We were in high
school.
school.
Yeah.
So we're talking like 20 plus years of me reading these books, and one of the first scenes in the last season was like dragons flying over Winterfell Castle. That was very
It's interesting because of Robert Jordan. Robert Jordan and George R. R. Martin both sat down and talked to each other. I'm sorry, Stephen King and George R. R. Martin sat down with each other and talked about that.
Oh, I know. There's
and
polar
George,
opposite
George R. R.
writers.
Martin's like, how do you write so many books? And Stephen King's like, why do you write such long books?
I know. No, Stephen King writes long books, but he writes
Not
as a
like
job.
that though.
George Martin writes as a hobby.
Right.
Stephen King writes as a job. That's the difference. So you've read On Writing. I know you have, right?
Yes, I love that book.
Stephen King will sit at his desk for 8 hours a
I'm
day.
doing a half of this sucker because I can.
It smells like Everclear.
I don't know what this is supposed to be weeded. What's the proof on that, James?
57%, 114.
Okay, it's not as bad as the
Not as bad as it
125
smells,
that we
right?
just ate.
All right, here we go. Cheers.
I haven't had this before. This is new for me.
Smells nice.
Cheers.
It does smell
Got
pretty
pie.
sweet.
Cheers to you.
Cheers. Nope, that's not it.
That's not bad.
Oh God.
That is
not bad.
super sweet.
Yeah. That's a good mixer.
I mean, that's a grain style.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very great alcohol.
That's not
I
a.
did not like it.
That's not a good day right there.
No.
We've hit the Rubicon.
We've hit it. Anyways, I will say that in closing,
Why don't you cry about it?
Yeah, I'm going to. You sons of
Stephen
bitches.
King writes. He will write 10 pages, 20 pages. If it takes him 15 minutes or if it takes him 8 hours, right? He doesn't leave his desk. George Martin writes as a hobby.
Correct.
He sees it as something that he'll do off and on, which is fine. But you can see it in his work, right? Like he'll write Game of Thrones,
Right.
and then he'll like write these wild
Then
card
he'll do
books,
random stuff.
and then
Yeah.
he'll do TV shows, and he'll
Yeah.
do video games like Elden Ring, which is fine. I mean, if I was rich and old, and I'd do whatever the hell I wanted to too, right? I don't blame him
He
for
made
it.
his money off HBO.
He did.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Hand over
dude,
fist.
He made money hand over fist way before that, but he made a ton more
No,
of it.
but like I mean, HBO
Yeah.
spends. I mean,
Yeah.
you got mail. Former AOL. Like I mean, it's like HBO is like bank.
Yeah,
If
and they paid him
HBO
a ton of
pays
money.
for it, you have
And he
made
consulted on it.
bank.
And the shows, the episodes that he co-wrote of Game of Thrones, usually the penultimate episode, the second to last episode, are the best.
Yeah.
But he gets like, and you can see it, and I don't know him personally, but you can see it, and I've read his blogs and stuff, where like, he wants to write about superheroes. So he writes about superheroes, right? He wants to write a video game for FromSoft.
Right,
so,
Elden Ring.
So he writes a video game.
Yeah.
Like he does whatever the hell he wants to. But Stephen King, like he's like, I'm going to write a book about a guy with a gun in a dark tower. He's like, that's all I'm going to do is I'm going to sit in front of my desk and I'm going to write that. Period. That's it.
Well, not only that, but
George Martin doesn't have that
Even-
focus. And he doesn't really care.
Even if-
so he does whatever he wants to.
even if Stephen King doesn't have something specifically in mind, he will just sit there.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't leave. Like that's his job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he
He's clocked
clocks
in.
in.
He said that.
That's
yeah.
right. He clocks in.
Yeah.
And then he clocks out.
And he said if he sits there and he writes 2 pages in 8 hours,
That's
it. But he was there for 8 hours, right?
Correct.
And then the next day he'll sit there and he'll write.
Half a book. Like
and the other
he'll
thing-
get ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I
And-
mean, think about the Dark Tower series, right? So like that's he started off with the Gunslinger. His initial manuscript stops right. Like it starts with the Gunslinger, doesn't proceed on.
Yeah.
Then he goes Carrie, Pet Cemetery,
Yeah.
all those initial like first runs. He gets big, moves right because he's went back and forth to what is it?
Bangor. Bangor, Maine.
Yes, Maine. And which, by the way, everything occurs in the freaking town of Little Rock or whatever it is.
Derry.
Derry. And so, which is true, by the way. Everything does, like, occur in Derry. Like it's just kind of his like little home. Like it's like Kingston, kind of basically. I mean, it sounds like Kingston.
Yeah.
Whether it's Cujo or whatever book you want to go to on them, they're all in Derry.
They're all in Derry. Yep.
So, what a shithole to live in right there. I mean, golly. I mean, I need vampires and dogs eating my ass every 5 seconds.
Makes it interesting.
So you go through that. He abandons it basically because he can't get it published, right? Can't get the Gunslinger published. Gets Carrie, gets Pet Sematary, gets all those done. Moves, finds the manuscript, decides, well, why not now? Because right now,
he lost Gunslinger.
He could rise up right now, like, you know, what's the freaking dumpster guy in Sesame Street?
Oscar.
Yeah, he could rise up as Oscar with a pile of shit on his head, and he could publish whatever he wants at that point. So he does. Starts working on the Gunslinger, gets hit by a van, a blue van.
That was way after he was famous, by the way.
Right, but the Gunslinger was way before. He doesn't write anything else on the Dark Tower series till he moves, finds it again, starts writing on it again, gets hit by the van, goes in a coma. Because you told me this story.
Yeah,
this is Derek telling me this story.
But he was like halfway into the Gunslinger.
Correct.
When he did that. Yeah.
Derek telling me this story is what propelled me to do it because Derek told me he's like the first thing that he decided to do once he got out of his coma, which I say decided, but once he came out of his coma, the first thing he wanted to pick up was his opus, which is the Dark Tower series. And I was like, okay,
to finish
somebody that has that kind of passion, I want to read that, or I want to listen to that, or I want to experience that when somebody does that.
Correct.
It is his opus.
It's the greatest thing.
And that's Derek telling me that story is what propelled me into getting into it to begin with. By the way, Gunslinger's the worst shithole book that ever existed.
I really tried to get through it. I
fucking
tried.
Dumpster fire.
The Gunslinger?
Dumpster fire!
It's a novella.
It's a piece of shit.
It was
written
terrible
as a
to listen to.
standalone.
It is a garbage book that just gives you
also
like a
wrote
prequel intro.
He also wrote it as like way before he was a
Don't care.
good
Garbage
author.
book.
But
does have valuable information that you need once you move on.
Oh, yeah.
I 100% agree. But it's such a disjointed book. And it's all over the place.
Well, when he wrote it, it was not meant as a opus.
I understand that, but it's so disjointed when you like read it or listen to it that you're like, I feel like I'm going forwards, then I'm going backwards, then I'm going forward, then I'm going backwards,
See,
and it's just
And the narrator was terrible about it too.
But see, that's what I like.
The reader is awful.
My
too.
favorite Stephen King stuff is his short stuff. I guess that's
right.
Why
No,
I like.
I understand
Which
that.
is why I like the Gunslinger
Well,
more
as a
than
novella,
you guys do.
you would get it because you're reading the novella.
Yeah.
You know, just like the Green Mile, just like the Body.
The Body. Yeah.
You know, and by the way, which I've read all of those since, and I understand the Gunslinger now vastly more because I've went through those books. But the problem is that it is garbage on audio. It's okay as a novella.
I've never listened to it on audio.
It's garbage.
The narrator,
they read it like it's one book.
Didn't James Marsden read the other ones?
There was two authors. There was two authors because one of them died in the middle of the Dark Tower series.
Same thing happened to George Martin.
Correct. So the guy that he had read it, because the guy that read it, he said the guy that read it initially was like, he said, I imagine. So this is where Stephen King says, because he gives commentary on this. He says, I imagine that the Gunslinger was like the Duke, John Wayne.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously.
So the author, so the guy that was reading it had that vibrato, that he had that deep, rustic voice. The next guy was good. He's really, really good. Don't get me wrong. But the initial guy who passed away through the middle of it, was rough. But the transition was fine because the guy that does it does a great amount of insinuating and accenting the different types of voices and genres that go through. Once you're past book one, the Dark Tower series,
I've never listened to it.
the Dark Tower series, bar none, is my favorite series.
I guess I need to listen
Over
to
the
it.
Wheel of Time, by the
Are
way.
you talking about listening?
I've
or reading?
actually finished the Dark Tower series.
Did
by the
you
way.
finish the Wheel of Time?
I have not.
That is not. Don't bring it up.
Don't bring it up. You spoil it, we're no longer friends.
Have you finished it?
Yeah, when it came out, I've listened to it 3 times.
I have the book, and I have reread. So
Wait, was it Kate Redding and
Kate Redding and
the other guy, her husband?
Yeah, no. Yes.
Yeah, it's
yes,
her husband.
yes.
They do everything together.
Kate Redding, and I forget his
Because they do the original ones.
She goes by her maiden name
Okay.
in that.
Because they also read the The Way of Kings.
They do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they do.
What's your
And-
commute right now? 30 minutes?
No, it's an hour.
All right, look. Will you just buy The Way of Kings?
I'll buy it
Add
for
it to
you.
my list.
The Brandon
Michael
Sanderson?
Kramer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kate Redding, Michael Kramer.
Yeah, I know Kramer.
That's I was introduced to them that way,
Yeah.
and they're
really
the
good.
best readers.
They're really great. They have very good synergy in the way that they read things because.
And I like how they read the opposite.
Except
sex
for the
voices.
Wheel of Time, because they didn't get the names right.
What do you mean?
They would use like Nynaeve. They would call her different names in certain parts of it. One would say Nynaeve and one would say Nynaeve.
Yes, I remember that.
So
Yeah,
they didn't.
yeah.
They did not get everything
Nynaeve.
congruent. So there's things about it, and I'm particular about that because I'm OCD in those ways.
I tell you what pisses me off about
But-
the Wheel of Time. There's 14 characters that all have the exact same name
Yes.
that sound very similar.
Very much so.
God, what is it? It's Perrin.
Perrin Aybara,
And what is the
Matt Coffin,
No,
Rand
no,
Althor.
don't name all the characters. There's Perrin, and then there's a female Aes Sedai that sounds close to Perrin when they read it. And it's Varen.
Varen Almir.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's Perrin. So one chapter.
Let me tell you.
I'm on a chapter right now that's Perrin and Varen.
I'm
and I'm
not-
starting to get pissed off.
I'm not gonna-
because I'm driving in traffic.
I'm
and
not gonna
like, who the
hold on,
hell
hold
are
on.
they talking about right now?
I'm not going to spoil anything.
Okay.
James is going to pick up on this really quick. But I'm going to tell you right now, pay attention to Varen.
Yes.
Just
Varen, the female Aes Sedai.
Yes.
correct.
Okay.
Just please,
Okay. That's fine.
because I've had to go through the series after something happened.
Okay.
Pay attention to her and her warder.
Okay.
I'm going to
Okay.
accentuate.
They haven't brought up her water yet.
Right, he'll come in there in a minute.
And I'll
His
say
name
that-
his name is Tom, I think it is. Not
and
Tom,
again,
Tam-
another
no.
goddamn Tom.
Tam. It's not Tom. It's something
There's
else.
Tom,
but
there's Tam, there's
it's-
Varen,
it's
there's
a generic-
Perrin.
It's a
book
generic
pisses
name.
me
It's
off.
just a generic name.
No, I know.
but pay attention to her.
Yeah.
Like, pay attention to her like you would pay attention to Odetta.
Okay.
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 Pay attention to her like Detta Walker.
I got you.
Okay. Now I can speak Derek in this because I've went through the Dark Tower series. So Odetta, Detta Walker, and the personalities.
Yeah.
Detta Walker. Pay attention hard to Varen. Okay. You will be rewarded greatly.
Okay.
And I'll leave it at that. James will understand
And the
what I
bad
mean
thing
about
is,
this
like,
too.
I guess I can't say anything because George Martin's the worst, right? Like Targaryen names.
Here's the thing about Robert
They all
Jordan.
have the same name.
There is no other, and I know the chat. I love all you
Oh, they've
guys.
all
I appreciate
quit by
all of
now.
y'all being
That's
here.
fine. Good
By
night,
the way,
everybody. We love you.
I appreciate you,
We're gonna talk
everybody.
about this for-
If y'all want to skip,
This is
that's
for
good.
us.
But I will say right now, right off the bat, Robert Jordan, out of any author, has done the greatest job of taking characters with slight nuance and making them epic.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
I can see that so far.
Because there are characters that I could give two shits about
Yeah.
in the very beginning,
Yeah.
and even through the first four or five books, that by the end, they become one of my favorite characters. And he does, I will say this, he does women justice.
Yes. Yes.
He
Would you
does a
agree
good
with
job,
that?
women.
No, I mean, but like you haven't hit the
No,
Rubicon on it
I
yet.
haven't hit all
But
of it.
I'm saying like at the moment where you think women are going to no longer be relevant because that's kind of the direction it goes, right? Like
Yeah.
the direction is the
Aes Sedai
Dragon
becoming
Reborn
this.
comes here,
Yeah.
and and so you have the male coming in,
Yeah.
and you're thinking, okay, this is just going to overpower, and to an extent, I would agree. However, there are moments where you're like, oof, no way.
So I'll say,
No way.
I'm nowhere near the end, right? I'm like
he writes
I'm like
women
book 4 or 5.
epically well.
Oh, that's a rough book 4
Yeah,
through
you're,
like 7
you're starting
are
to
rough.
you're starting to get to the desert people and the sand.
Correct, yeah.
And
So I'll say
you're
what-
after the Great Hunt. You're in the like
I'm Dragon
chaos.
Reborn, I think, right? Or no, Lord.
You're
not Lord
you're
of
probably
Chaos yet.
you're probably
Knife
close
of
to Lords
Dreams?
of Chaos.
No,
Knife of Dreams is towards the end.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not Lord of. I'm not the one before that.
So
Twilight
you have Dragon
of,
Reborn, Great Hunt. You have Lords of
man.
Chaos. You have
Twilight at Crossroads.
No, not that far.
Crossroads of Twilight.
Anyways,
but you're
probably,
right. I'm dyslexic, so I hear exactly what you're
Anyways,
saying.
don't worry about what book it is. You'll remember the chapter. It was the one where it was the. It's the who's the desert people? The Aiel.
The
Yes,
IEL.
IEL.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's the Aiel history that's backwards, right?
Yes.
So it
Correct.
starts at
Yes.
the front.
So what happens is you go through the gateways, and the gateways will tell you the past.
Well, but it's the chapter where
Shadow Rising.
Yeah, I'm Shadow Rising.
Yeah,
So
and
it's
then it's the Fires of Heaven. Then it's Lords of Chaos.
So it's the chapter where they're talking about the Aiel's history.
Correct.
And it goes from present to
past.
back. But it goes like, it follows the family line.
Correct.
Probably one of the
Of each
most,
one.
Yeah. Probably one of the most well-written, like, compelling
So
chapters. And I listened to it twice. And then I looked it up on Wikipedia to make sure I understood everything. But it was really, really good because it kind of went through the entire history and showed everything.
David,
But it was
something
like, obscure enough.
something
it
that
kinda
will
kept a little bit-
fascinate you, Derek, about Robert Jordan. He actually hired somebody to prevent contradictions in the storyline.
Oh yeah, we talked about this.
He
before.
hired an individual
Yeah.
to actually come on board because Harriet
His wife is the
McDougal, his
editor.
wife, is the
Yeah.
editor.
Yeah.
Right. Which, by the way, I have her book and I haven't read it obviously because I haven't finished the last one because I've actually been going
probably a
through.
very confusing
So Ishmael
job.
is a major character, and the one that teaches Rand how to use the power is a massive character, and you will. There was a whole subreddit, like there's like a Substack on this freaking guy, like before Substack was a thing, kind of thing. So, and I forget the gentleman's name, but it's the guy, it's the Forsaken that teaches Rand.
Yeah, the bad guy, the first one.
Yeah,
Right.
the first one that he captures.
He will disappear.
The one that you think, well, spoiler alert for a 40-year-old book.
Y'all can kiss our ass.
The one you think is the dark one, but it's actually not, right?
There's several innuations of that.
Well,
so
okay.
you'll
Well,
see
you're
that
gonna
too.
F it up for me too, because you're way far ahead.
The
But
point
it's-
is,
yeah.
you'll have somebody, and he'll teach because you got to think like Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
All right, he had Obi-Wan
Chris is-
Kenobi.
yeah.
All right, so all that the hero's
Basically,
tale
his-
never changes for one thing. But ultimately, what ends up happening is there's a whole story
Ron,
arc.
stop, please, God.
Yeah, I understand. There's a whole story arc that will occur that will blow your mind that people theorize, and some guy figured it out. All right, and it is worth when you get past book 10.
Yeah.
Okay, it's about book 10, 11.
I guess I need to
All
wrap
right.
it up right now.
Oof. We'll wrap it up when we feel like wrapping it up.
No,
Anyways,
ramp it up. I need to ramp up
it
my
up.
reading.
Yes, ramp it up. By the time you get to back 10 or 11, you'll understand more, but you will never get the clarity because even Brandon Sanderson wanted to find out about this specific character. This was the first thing he did when he discussed with Harriet and Robert Jordan after he took the notes from Robert Jordan while Jordan was on his deathbed because he was dying from a not sickle cell anemia, but he was dying from a blood disease that he actually had. But beyond that, that was one of the things that Brandon Sanderson wanted to know fully. He actually wanted confirmation from Jordan's notes of what occurred because there was a gentleman that went through every book and pulled
plotted it out.
together under slight nuance. And this was crazy. Durwood and I went through this like crazy,
Yeah.
and we were like,
Somebody did that
we
for
were
Martin
amazed.
too. Like,
This
plotted it out.
This would be on the nth degree of what Martin had.
Yeah.
Like it's so
Oh, yeah.
convoluted and slight.
3 times as many books. yeah.
Robert Jordan also
Oh,
writes.
yeah.
Robert Jordan writes himself in the book, not unlike how Stephen King writes himself in the book, but not like Stephen King writes himself in his series. But Robert Jordan also puts himself in there, and you'll see his character when that occurs.
Martin wrote Jordan into his books. Too.
Probably.
that?
What? Say
Martin
again.
wrote Robert Jordan into his books.
George R. R. Martin did. I
Yeah.
believe it.
Yeah, there's like a house with like Robert Jordan.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe that 100%. I would too. Because he's
obviously.
just the fact. So the fact.
He's the godfather of epic fantasy.
Something like what Stephen King did when Stephen King was hit by the blue van that eventually comes out of he goes into coma, comes out of the coma kind of thing. Robert Jordan has a similar kind of story. When Robert Jordan initially pitched this to Tor, he pitched it as a trilogy.
Wrong.
Very wrong. He knew.
Yeah.
He knew. I have some of his books up here, by the way, that are out of Jordan's private library, where he actually will scribble out where he's read stuff. He'll actually articulate different languages, different artwork. His library is extensive. We got it out of one of the Charleston bookstores that held a lot of his books. So I have some of Jordan's books here on the library, which is fascinating, the read that he would do, because he would go into languages, he would go into design, he would go into art, he would go into everything just for his influences. But beyond that, there is a story arc that is so underscored and hidden that somebody mapped it out and they were right. At the very end, they were right. And that's the craziest thing.
It's like one person
out of
7 billion
that figured it out. And he mapped it out. There's a subreddit that's about this, that the guy maps it out. And it's amazing to go back and actually read that. But that shows you the level that Jordan would go for the submersiveness of the story.
Yeah.
And there were so many undercurrents going on in the whole story. It's just phenomenal. He had to hire somebody to go through all that and keep it straight.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
To think you have to hire somebody just for that.
Oh yeah. So y'all know, have you watched Game of Thrones?
I've watched pretty much all of it.
Finished it. So you know Hodor, right? So,
yeah, hold the door.
So when I was like
spoiler.
Spoiler. So when I was big in the game, I mean I've always been big in Game of Thrones, but when I was reading it, I was an active member on like a Song of Ice and Fire. So it wasn't even subreddit, it was a forum before Reddit. And man, this guy posted like in 2007, I don't know, when the book came out, like he had this whole thing, like you said.
Yeah.
He had like, it was like a dissertation, right, about Hodor. And everybody blew him off and made fun of him and said, you know, whatever. And it was buried in the comments, and it was years ago. And then, I don't know, 20 years later, the show came out and they had that scene.
Yeah.
And Hodor, and it came down to
hold the door.
And man, somebody brought out that old ass post, and that guy, he just sailed on that vindication for like a month. And it was the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Let me give you an analogy of that, because I understand exactly what you're talking about. Hold the door is to Pig Latin as this character story arc is to the Nazi Enigma machine.
So it's that's detail.
It's so like I still
if
don't.
If I listen to him, I'm going to figure it out.
No.
Okay.
You never will.
That's fine.
I don't understand how this guy figured it out. Most people can't figure out how this guy, because this guy picked it apart like one sentence in one book.
This is when you listen to your 10th grade English teacher, and she's talking about like T.S. Lawrence, and like some bullshit like interpretation, and you're like, that's not true.
This is
guy figured it out.
legitimately like the Enigma machine.
Okay.
Because it would be one line out of one book.
All right, fair enough.
And he could connect it. And
Fair
somehow
enough.
he got it. Amazing time. Appreciate it.
For summer reading, I
Be
highly
quick,
recommend
because he just shut us down.
Ernest Cline. Ready Player One.
Oh yeah. Oh, amazing.
Great book. I've read it like 6 times.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah,
I had to break that one up.
We're of similar age.
Yeah.
All the lore and all the things that are in there
pick that one up.
speaks to you.
By the way, love everybody. Good night now.
I love you.
Good night.
Thank you. Good.
And watch Invincible on Amazon Prime. Great show.
Have you read The Martian?
The Martian with Matt Damon.
Yeah.
By the way,
I've not read it. No, I've watched
talk
it.
about that.
A Canticle for Labelwitz.
Oh, amazing book.
By far, one of the most amazing post-apocalyptic style books.
I love you, boys.
Love you. Thank
Good
you
night,
for wrapping up
everybody.
season 3. Thank you for coming for us. We appreciate you anytime you
Glad I
come.
could finally come.
I'm excited to
I
come.
know. James got a crazy work schedule, everybody, so you got to bless him for coming for
saving
us.
the world.
We appreciate him coming.
Wiping butts one butt at a time.
And they need it, by God, these days. 100%. D-Man, thank you for being on the board.
Love you, man.
We're going to be in
Always.
Germany, so we're going to be out of town.
Ooh, podcast from Germany.
Prost.
Nope. Not happening. I'll take cameras. I'll take my laptop. God, I really should not get a bug in my ear to do this. What if I did it at the wedding and I just like crashed the hell out of it?
What if you live streamed the wedding?
Live stream the wedding.
Just did commentary.
And it's like the shittiest Wi-Fi ever. And like, well, he's kissing her. Oh, nope, he fell on
It'd be
her.
like when our friend was live
They don't
streaming
have
the
cake
Martin's
here.
wedding.
Nope, they just stabbed a pig. The pig is now the sacrifice.
We've got to have a
bunch of
we got to have a supplemental live stream of just all of our dumbass stories.
We could do that.
Oh,
but we would have to bring in more people.
Could we live stream
Not
Sean
everybody.
in
No,
on
because
iPad?
it's better
After
if we
this
talk
summer.
about how